I'm stuck in your head and I'm laughing. I filled you with dread and I can't stop laughing. Your parents are dead and I can't stop laughing. What else can I do? Now I'm part of you. There's nothing like a comeback, is there, Matt? Let's go again.
Ahoy. Anybody watching? Trying to find the button. Takes me where I need to be. There I am. Hey, apologies for the long delay. It's been a 2-week delay, give or take. So I think it's the exact same thing that I said the last time I streamed, which was that I was getting properly into it, and then family came to visit, and they stayed for a week, and I was out of commission for 2 weeks with sickness. And then I came back streaming, did like a few streams trying to get into the habit of it, and then I had to go to Ireland. So the last time I streamed was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was like the start of the new way of doing it. And then I had to go to Dublin like 2 days later. I was there for about a week, and then was out of commission for let's say a week. This time it wasn't as horrendous as sickness, but it was pretty bad. And then just out of my funk for so long. But that's why today, bright and early, sat at my desk at 9 a.m. messing around with OBS for 2 or 3 hours until I finally worked up the courage to start streaming. So that's where we are now. But we've got something a bit more fun than usual today, which we tried one of these before. See from the title, what calling punishment programming. Gonna have the banner at the bottom. Hopefully it's not going to be too intrusive. But yeah, what we're doing today, every single time I make a typo while I'm programming, I have to come along to monkey type, and you'll see the top-down view of my typing to verify that I'm not cheating. And we will have to take a typing test. And why am I doing this? Partly because content, I don't know. Partly because I just got a new keyboard and I want to get into the hang of using it. And also, I keep making really bad typos while I'm programming, especially when I program on stream. I think when I do my programming by myself, for the most part, I think I take my time with it a bit more. I don't mistype too often, or maybe I'm just hyper aware of it when I do, and I'm live on stream. But yeah, if I'm going to be doing this more often, I want to get in the habit of typing properly. So probably I'm gonna get rid of this little banner. I'm gonna record this a bit more properly so that I can turn this into a YouTube video if I like. So just gonna hang on. Gotta find my mouse on the monitor. There we go. Hiding that bottom banner. Okay, so I've probably worked out a script for this, but you're gonna see the sausage get made live. So I've done a lot of programming live on stream, and I've also done a lot of programming off stream for like the last 10 years or so. Despite that, I'm pretty fast at typing English language stuff. The programming has a lot of like special characters, awkward casing you need, and also IntelliSense and code editors have a lot of like auto suggestions and autofill that often just mess me up. They're still worth having, but they can kind of get in the way of the flow when you type. And so, especially when I'm live on stream, I mistype a lot. I get a lot of typos and I'm constantly giving out to myself and going back on it. But also, I'm like, it's frustrating because I am pretty fast at typing. So I just want to improve my typing consistency. And how are we going to do that? With punishments. The only way to get better at anything is with punishments. So that's why on this stream, we are going to have the rule that anytime I make any sort of typo whatsoever, I'm not just going to have like a programming mistake. Like if I make a decision to add a line of code and it turns out that that wasn't the right line of code to add, I'm not counting that as a typo. That was an active decision to type something and it worked. What I'm saying a typo is like I straight up just hit the wrong key. Or yeah, like add an open bracket when I'm meant to close bracket, that kind of shit. If that happens at any point, I have to, hang on, getting my monitor set up. If that happens at any point, I need to go over here to monkey type. And we're gonna get some intense music going so that it's not just you guys staring at a screen for 30 seconds, because these tests, I can lower it to 15 seconds. Let's do 15 seconds, see how quickly this is. So this in program order need give few div, oh my god. That's frustrating. Okay, so this is the thing. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Raw input, 94 words per minute. Before stream, I tested a few times and I got like 100 words per minute, like proper, with the accuracy adjustment and stuff. Like I think I even got over 100 words per minute, like maybe like 105. So I'm able to do this, but it's once I make a mistake, I fumble, I'm all up in my head. And that, while that's just on monkey type, it's not real. I think that also does happen when I'm programming. I'm typing fluidly, going const, do some stuff, open brackets, and I mistype, and then I'm thrown off. I've lost my train of thought. So we're gonna fix myself. I'm gonna get fixed. And so we're just gonna be doing some programming as usual. I've got some stuff to work on, things to improve some of the apps that I've got built into localboast.com. Things that could are like most of the way there, and I should really just get them the final bit. Got a few bugs and some UI cleanup to do. And while we're doing that, we're going to have this punishment. And so I am not sure how this is going to go, because I've never really paid too much attention to how many bugs I make, or not bugs, how many typos I make. So it could be that I only take a typing test every 10 minutes. I don't think that's going to happen. I think more likely I'm going to make a mistake within 10 seconds, have to do a 15-second typing test, go back to code, and instantly make a mistake. And I think the majority of this stream is going to be me switching windows back and forth to monkey type. And maybe I should just stay in monkey type.
New follower, long live chaos _1 Twitch S-Cam.
Thank you very much for the follow. Getting in there nice and early. Yeah, I've got a follower goal of like 20. I'm on 18. Or I'm now on 18. I was on 17 for like the last 2 or 3 streams. I was getting kind of bleak. So thank you so much. Twitch scam in the username makes me worried though. Hopefully it's long live chaos, online casino, sports betting. Okay, so it is a scam. Oh well. Well, hopefully he doesn't unfollow. And I'll just have a spam bot associated on my account. Yeah, he's definitely gonna like unfollow after 20 minutes or so. But we'll roll with it. We're gonna pretend that long live chaos I Twitch scam. Is that what it is? One Twitch scam. Yeah. I'm gonna pretend that he's my new best friend. I'm gonna talk to him, talk to you throughout this whole stream, Mr. and Mrs. Twitch scam. So yeah, and this is how I get thrown off. I'm in the middle of talking. I see a spam bot come in, and I'm like, oh, lost my train of thought entirely. And that's what typos do to me. So hopefully after today, we'll be better. But yeah, let's without further ado, let's just kind of get into this. Although, yeah, I talked about how it's been like a few weeks since I streamed, and basically I went to Ireland, talked to my family because I was staying with them. They asked me what I was working on, talked to me about how I need to get a job, all that stuff. And it made me realize, yeah, I kind of need to double down on what I'm doing here, because I'm not going to make a load of money doing live streaming and YouTube in the next 6 months. I think I just want to have done enough to be proud of myself that when I need to get a job in like 6 months, I can look back and say I really tried. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is like really just going for it. Just out of pure morbid curiosity, I'm just checking the thing to see if he unfollowed. Yeah, he did. Pretty sure. Yeah, because the thing's saying I'm still on 17 followers. So, okay, we've faced one bot today. Hopefully the last. Although it is fun to hear the little alert come in. Right. So yeah, I don't think anyone ever wants to hear me talk on and on about my life. Why would you want to watch someone stream about their life or something? It's weird. You want to see some mundane programming. That's what we're all here for. So yeah, what I want to work on today is getting some things across the line. So one of the first things I worked on, this chat sketch, I can actually show it on my, how did that go over there? So here I am. So localboast.com/apps. So, okay, so I haven't updated this. I've got a work in progress version that's a bit more nicer than this. But yeah, so we've got on the website, LocalBoast, we've got 2 apps. Replay, which is something that I don't know if I've actually demoed. I built it on stream, but it's basically a way to animate between different states of code. So like, I'll just grab some, fuck it. I'll just grab this line, paste that in there, and I will zoom really far in so you guys can actually see that. So say I set that as state 1, then I go to state 2, and I, screw it. I'm just gonna, for the sake of a demo. And you can see it is not working as expected. And that is why what I need to work on is it's like somewhat working, but is quite buggy. So it's meant to do this kind of thing where like you can set your states of code almost like pages on a PowerPoint and then switch between them, and it'll like animate between the states with the code editing, syntax highlighting going constantly. So that's and that's something I built for the sake of making YouTube videos, because I want to be able to like explain the steps I made when I'm programming. Be like, okay, yeah, so you need to add this, and then you need to memoize it, and all this stuff. And I figured it's easier to do that if I can record this kind of custom built thing that animates between the states. And that's why I also put in a little color picker for the background, so I can like make it a green screen. Then all I need to do is screen record that, key out the background, and I can have that in a video. And I've used it a good bit in the last couple of videos I've made. I think one video actually just went out this morning. Where is that? So yeah, here's a hooks video I put out this morning. And you can see at one point, yeah, here it is. It's loading really slowly. So yeah, this stuff here, and I've got it like animating between the states of the code, and that I did by screen recording this guy. So it is kind of working, but even just getting it to this demo, you saw it was like really buggy, where it was adding lines that it wasn't supposed to be adding. It seems to just be completely confused about new line characters, and I'm not sure. I think so. Part of it is the front end code. The website is like improperly managing state, and also I think the actual just core hook that interpolates between strings is kind of broken. So that we'll play around with that right now. So we'll try to reproduce it within just the library code. So where will that be? That'll be in use animated text. Yeah, I've also recently added dark mode to Storybook, and it's a bit flaky. So if you see it like flashing from dark to white, that's why. So yeah, here's the use animated text. The storybook currently only treats it as like plain text. That's the only like demo code is plain text, and I've never noticed any bugs there. And it's only the point that I started using it for code that has, proper important syntaxing and new lines and stuff, I realized that it's missing a lot of those. So I think what we're going to try to do first is add some new stories that have like actual code samples and see if we can reproduce the problems in there. So maybe what we'll do is with this paged example, basically I've just got a button that switches a bunch of different states. So I'm probably going to change out this sample code, sample text, and replace it with actual like JavaScript. And hopefully that will show the issues that I'm seeing up in the website code. And then that's like hopefully going to be a major bug to fix, or like hopefully that will be quick enough to fix, but will fix most of the problems that we're seeing. There's almost definitely some bad state management going on here though, and that might be harder to reproduce because I've also seen where like there's logic in there where say you're on page 2 and I click the new page button. It's supposed to copy page 2 onto page 3 and then switch me to page 3. And I think it like sometimes does that, but a lot of the time it misses it and just like adds a new page that copies from page 1 and doesn't even switch to the new page. And I think when I type in here, it like gets confused and edits the wrong page. And also there's a thing where if I type in here, it's kind of like stuttering over itself because it's animating the new character that I've just typed in. So I need to add some way to disable the animation when we've detected input. I have no idea what we're going to do with that, but it'll be a bit of fun. Try to figure it out. Because this one, I think, is a pretty cool feature, pretty cool piece of functionality that I'd like to show off, but it's really just not usable at all right now. And this is something that like I will definitely be using a lot myself, so I really want it to be nice and usable. If we make good progress with that today, there's another thing that I want to play around with. So the chat sketch component, this is all really zoomed in. This is one of the first things I built live on stream, and it's using it like runs a Twitch chatbot in the end user's browser to listen in a Twitch chat. And when I start doing that, it's listening for any messages in chat that have like up, down, left, or right, and that actually will write onto the Twitch or onto the Etch-a-Sketch. So like if I go into chat, if I go right, down, yeah. Oh, damn, Adrian Learns. Happy to see you. Yeah, it's I think that was working, is it? I wasn't actually watching the Etch-a-Sketch. If I go right, yeah, right. Oh shit. So I was typing in the with my alternate account, and I did not realize that there's like anti-spam protection on. Yeah, I'll try to figure that out. But yeah, so this Etch-a-Sketch thing, it's a cute, cool little proof of concept more than anything that I built on stream, and it's like more or less usable. It's like basically there, but there's just some not quality of life stuff I want to do. So like these buttons aren't that clear. I want to maybe make the line thicker. I want to be able to customize the start position. So like when I clear it, it's always defaults to like up here 0, 0. I want to be able to like move that to anywhere. If you want to not always have your design be pinned to the top left. And there's also like no clamping whatsoever. So when I'm here, if the messages come in as like top and left, it'll just go into like negatives. There's a bunch of stuff in here to make it a lot nicer, more useful. There's also no instructions anywhere on this page. So yeah, there's some stuff we can play around with this. But the main priority is this replay component. So yeah, let's just get into this. So what I was saying, we're going to be in Storybook playing around with the hook that actually controls this animating of text. So I just want to reproduce the bug in here. So use animated text. So my storybook stories are all driven by this config JSON object because my storybook stuff, I got it to like generate automatically. And so my stories are simply driven by this config. And yeah, so I've got a button demo component here. Cool. So here are the sample strings that I can change up. So yeah, if Adrian Learns, I don't think that's a name I recognize. If you're still watching, very happy to have you. Just, got a follower goal of 20. Still very low on followers, but if anyone's watching and feeling like dropping a follow, you would absolutely make my day.
New follower, Adrian _ learns.
I just need to ask. That's something I keep having to remind myself, is that, yeah, Connor, you just need to be able to ask. And people are just really, really sound. Thank you. So what we're doing here, I'm just going to grab some code from somewhere. I'll just grab the use animated text code. Screw it. I'll take this guy, and this will be the new code that we're going to change up. Yeah, one more then. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We got a follower early at the start of the stream, and I got excited, and it turned out it was just a bot. So my follower goal has not actually moved, but you've just bumped it up to 18. I really appreciate that. Also, if it's your first time in chat, feel free to ask any questions about what I'm working on, or like who I am, or if you've got programming questions, screw it. If you're trying to learn JavaScript, I'm happy to go on a detour, talk about it. I'm just like typing characters, having no clue what I'm doing here. But it does not count as a typo, because I need to remember that we're actually doing a challenge here, because that's what's going to make this stream fun. So what I'm doing is challenge programming, that anytime I make a single typo, I'm going to have to go off and do a monkey type test. And yeah, I need to remember to do that. But yeah, like I say, it didn't count as a typo because I simply was not paying attention. So this is my code. I don't know why I extracted it. I'm over here. Paste that in there. Okay, I swear I did that before and it was giving me errors. But I was not really paying attention, so I probably did something wrong. So that's state 1. I guess state 1 can just be nothing. I'll just leave it like empty like that for state 1. And then state 2 will have a new line with ms per char. And I'll come up with just a new state for the next one down. And this is all just to try to reproduce the bug that I'm seeing on my website. Screw it. I'll mix it up a bit, have it be a bit more of a real world example. So I've changed that value, and now I'll add a new value. So some attribute, and I'm already being real careful not to type anything wrong, because like it's only a 15-second typing test, but it'll be a pain in the ass if I need to go and do that. At least as often as I think, if I just like don't think about typing correctly, if I just let my fingers run wild, I'm pretty sure I'll hit a typo like every 5 seconds. But yeah, so we're in here. That has not updated. All right, yeah, because my... Wait, no, that should have updated. Paged example. Yeah, so I might just need to rebuild my my storybook stuff. Yarn, what is it? Readmes. So yeah, I mentioned there that all of the readmes and storybook pages for my library are all generated from a script I wrote. So like all of these pages here with all the descriptions. Again, apologies for the flashing. It is confused whether or not it's dark mode or light mode. Yeah, all of these pages are generated from a script based off of JSON configs per thing in the library. So sometimes when I change something, I need to like rerun the script. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm hopefully that's actually going to change the stuff. Use animated text. Why is that still test? So here's the source code it's using. That's really weird. So I knew this was going to be a bug fixing session, but I hate when it's like a bug that makes no sense to me and I'm just staring at code blank-faced. I might be in a dunce. I was going to search my code base for the word test to see where it's coming, but that would be an absolute headache. I'm just going to, rather than spend ages trying to figure out where that is, I'm just going to test if I just restart Storybook, will that fix it? Because it could just be some weird caching thing going on. No, it's still there. Okay, so this is a demo of animating text. I'm going to search the code base and see where the hell that is. Because that, I think, should be gone already. Wait, what? Oh, god damn. So my demo component is importing from a different place. That's annoying. Okay, I should hopefully remember to fix that later. Basically, in my library, I've got a hook. Whenever I write a hook that does something like use animated text, I try to also add a wrapper component. So in this case, there's an animated text component. And so these have very similar Storybook pages, but just for the sake of having like a component versus a hook that can be demoed, there is like a different wrapper around it. And I seem to have just duplicated the wrappers and the hook is importing the components code for some reason. But at least we got to the bottom of it. Okay, so there we are. And this should... Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we're already seeing a bug, I think. Is that... Oh no, that is expected to be there. Yeah, that always gets me. These, what is it? The backticks, template strings, things. The way like indentation is really important with them. Okay, so if I indent them like that, then that'll get rid of them phantom spaces that I don't want. Cool. So will the bug happen? Yes, it does. Okay, so you can see there in the code, in the string that we're interpolating from, there is supposed to be a new line character, and yet the animation stuff just is skipping it, which is really annoying, especially in a real world example when you're trying to do the animating between two different states. It's very important to have the correct new lines. So genuinely going to be really interesting to see why why it's just skipping that character. Hopefully there's like an off by one error in the way I'm interpolating between them. Let's see if it gets worse. Also, yeah, I need to fix that where like as this string changes, the size of the box changes. So when you're zoomed in, this page is kind of a nightmare to look at because it keeps changing. So like it sometimes works. So now here there's a new line and it is respecting it, but then it's not respecting it. That's just really weird. So yeah, it could be an off by one error, or there might just be a thing in the code that I've completely forgotten where it's like looking for certain, like a regular expression or something, and it's just not including certain characters. I have no idea. It's been a long time since I wrote this hook. So it's got some funky stuff in here where it's this thing where like it diff strings. I didn't make it too complex of like a proper like Git diffing thing where I have no idea how like Git differentiates codes. Basically, I think when I call this diff strings thing, it returns, it basically checks for a point that something is removed and the point that something is added, and it like can tell you what two things, like what two parts of the string are different. It like, what is it? It goes from the first index looking for a changed character and tells you what was in the original string but isn't in the new one. And then it does the same thing in terms of checking what's in the new string but wasn't in the original. So it has this concept of like what's been added and what's been removed. And then there's like helper functions that even achieve that much. So it's going to be kind of a funky one to figure out, but we'll get there. So yeah, This one is probably going to be very heavy, so if anyone's watching, feel free to just shoot random shit into chat to distract me, get me talking about something, because if not, I might just start focusing, like leaning really hard into the monitor, trying to figure this shit out. Also, definitely call me out. That's the thing. If, like I say, I'm going to forget that I need to do this typing testing. So if you guys notice me type something and then have to go back and take it away, let me know, because I imagine it's going to happen a lot and I'm going to miss it a lot. And I might even, like if I do this again, I might need to set up some automatic thing that if I hit the backspace key, an alert pops up or something. That could be a bit of fun. But yeah, hopefully I'll just, I'll be on it. Hopefully I'll be good. Right. So, oh yeah, I should just get this set up. So we've got the thing we're working on screen. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll zoom it out so we can actually see it on screen. Sweet. So yeah, I have genuinely no idea where to start in terms of looking at this, other than like, I don't want to just stick a debugger in here and follow through exactly what's happening, but that might be what I need to do. Maybe if I simply diff the two strings, that'll give me an idea. So diff strings. Yeah, screw it. I'll really cheese this and go into. Music's a bit loud, isn't it? And go. I'll just jump into the story. What the hell? Use animated text. I'm on animated text. Apologies. Stories, configs, animated text stories. And we're rendering animated text demo. So in here, I'm just gonna. This is where I'm gonna hopefully Storybook allows me to debugger, because like Storybook is weird where it's like rendering everything within like multiple iframes. So I should probably check that I can actually do a breakpoint in here. But yeah, I'll just run with this and copy them two strings. Yeah, I'll just grab this guy. So there's my sample strings, and I want to diff sample strings 0 and sample strings 1. Let's see if that works. Seems like it hit a breakpoint. That's good. I'll pop him out so we can actually see it. Okay. So we're in diff strings. So what does this removals and additions thing look like? So, wait, what? Okay, so the source string has, that's still really small on the stream, isn't it? So we're seeing that the source string has a new line character in here, and the new string has a new line at the start and a new line at the end. And it's just like, it's just missing that. So if we're over here, why, there's nothing added and nothing removed. Feels wrong. But like, okay, let's see here. Added is ms per car. Added index. Okay. So that might be correct. Oh. No, it is missing a thing, isn't it? Yeah, because there has been a new line added, and that's just not included here. Diff string additions. String after removals. Okay, so it's this diff string additions is not including the new line that it should. So I guess let's dive into that one. I know this is fucking riveting, watching me debug some code that you're unfamiliar with and don't know why I care. Screw it. My source maps are all messed up. And that's the thing that I've got on my to-do list. Where is it? Somewhere in here I've got something about making source maps actually work. But yeah, that's kind of screwing me up here. Oh no, we're over here. Cool. Okay, so diff string additions, dive in there. So somewhere in here we're getting screwed up. Oh no, I don't want to walk through all this. So what has been added is nothing. Oh, so we found an addition. Like this is stuff that I wrote like 2 months ago, and so it's like so unfamiliar to me. I wrote it like 2 months ago on like one particular hour. It's not like I spent ages going through this. So I'm very unfamiliar with this code. So we've got the idea of an added index. I wonder if that's even wrong. Like, is the added index, you know, off by 1, and so I'm missing a new line maybe. All I can do is crank the music and just stare at the code until it works. And drink coffee. That'll help too. So what is... screw it. I hate this overlay. I'm just going to check this is... -1. So are we going backwards? Oh god. Okay, I need to stop being mean on myself. It doesn't matter how interesting this is. The only thing that can make such an uninteresting stream worse is me talking about how uninteresting it is. So I just need to act like this is awesome. So yeah, I think there's definitely just like an off by 1 error going on here. Because I don't think there's anything custom about like detecting particular characters. So it's simply seeing like that there was a new line here and there's a new line there, so it's not recognizing that it needs to add one in. I don't know. At what point do things seem like they become wrong? So saying the characters are equal. It's false. So this one will be the new line, right? No. All right, because we already iterated far enough. No, we haven't. I don't know. I is 2 at this point. Why would we already be at this guy? So 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. Okay, so this one is comma. Yeah. Okay. Things are sort of starting to make sense. So what has been added? MS per car 15. Is it simply... Is this slice fucking me up? Added index is 51. So, what's going on? Do I need to take away another 1 here in the slice? So how does slice work again? It's inclusive, just slice, string, slice. The index end. Index of the first character to exclude the return string. So if I say that length. We're already outside of it. And then at this point, I think, am I off by 1? I think at this point, I could stare at this for ages trying to figure out if I'm off by 1 or not. But I think I need to just kind of test it and see if it works. Oh shit, yeah, here. Because like I'm taking away the 1 here, but not taking it away here. So that's gotta be it, right? So there's that. So that's diff string additions. I think there's probably also a diff string. No? I would have thought I'd needed like a diff string removals as well. But I guess not. So let's see if that just fixes it. I was really hoping it would be an off by 1 error. Oh no. It's all broken. It's all completely broken now. Shit. Oh, it. Guess not. But it's still not working. In fact, it's more broken than it was before. What if I +1? Go wild. Maybe yeah, I need to +1 because I'm taking away 1 here. Why am I taking away 1 is the question. Is that the problem? Okay. Oh. It almost works, but now we're ending up with 2 commas. Why the shit is it doing that? Let's see if I get rid of these -1s. This is like a horrible way to program. Just not understanding the problem and just clicking until, yeah, that's broken. It's adding in an O for no reason. That's no good. Okay. So I'll figure out, gonna try to figure out why I'm taking away -1 here. So what is I? Starting at 0, and we're going by the entire length of the B string, which is the second string, in the comparison. So we've got, and what is this? By added index. Okay, so this, we're going to iterate the amount of times by the amount of characters that have been added, I guess. So is that where the issue's coming from? It's less than or equal to, maybe. Could that potentially be it? Again, this is me not really understanding the problem and haphazardly taking a
New
stab
follower,
at something.
Jack Me.
Hi, great streamer. My friend, one of the big streamers on Twitch, pointed out something about your channel that prevents you from having... Oh, cool. Yeah, you're definitely a real person. Thanks for the follow anyway, but... yeah, my follower goal went up, but I have a strong suspicion that this follow is going to get removed in a few seconds, suspiciously. But yeah, thanks for the follow either way, if on the off chance that you are a real person. How come... Yeah, your message didn't appear in chat. Or in my, stream overlay, which is weird. And I just refreshed the page, so I can't even see what it is. I assume it was absolute spam. If it was, on the off chance it was a real message, right back to me, because it seemed like absolute scam bait. I find it very suspicious that just that your friend would be one of the top Twitch streamers. I don't know. Maybe work on your opening pitch, because that's a pretty wild claim. So what was I trying there? It was... Yeah, so I'm seeing is it enough by one thing here? Because I'm iterating. How many times do I want to iterate? It's by how many things have been added. Yeah, why am I doing this? Why haven't I just... Like, I'm looping over it already. God, that's loud. It's that fucking Batman song. Just the download was so quiet, and I have it cranked to the maximum, but it still comes in so quiet when I'm playing it, so anytime that comes on, I need to turn the music up really loud. This is getting frustrating. Let's figure out what the shit I'm doing here. So the goal here is to find the start index of additions. And the way we're doing that, we're starting at 0 and we're going up as far as the end of the B string. So anytime we find a character that's different, we say that we have added that character. Why have I done that? Because all we're getting out of this is added and added index. So why don't I just keep this loop going? I'm going to comment this out. Actually, yeah, I'll comment that out because we still need to return -1 if we haven't found an addition. If not found addition, added index is -1. So if we just keep this loop going, don't break. So at this point, we only want to increase this if the characters, if we haven't already found an addition. So if not found addition, and again, I'm being real careful not to mistype here. Hey, how you been? Sorry, Chainsaw Chody, just saw you come in there. Yeah, I've been staying with family and sick, which I know is what I say literally every single time I stream, because the last few times I've streamed, that has been the case. Yeah, my brother in Ireland, my oldest brother, recently had a baby, so we had to go back for that to see my first ever niece. And similar to the last time we had family stay with us, just got really sick. Came back from here, it was like devastated with just like sickness, fatigue, and yeah, me and Rosie were just completely out of commission for a good week. And last week I've just been trying to get into the swing of like having a 9 to 5 again, working on this stuff. And so that's why today I'm like relatively early stream, trying to get some actual consistency going. So yeah, new baby Irish niece hype, absolutely. Yeah, she's doing well. They're very happy to have her. We're all chuffed for them. Yeah, and thankfully I don't think they're going to be getting her christened, so I don't need to go back for that anytime soon. But we will have to go back to Ireland in a few months because Rosie has a niece who needs to be christened, and apparently that's something that is essential that I am there for. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, going back to Ireland was a weird one, just because I don't know, like we moved to London as like a bit of an adventure, and we're kind of done with London now. So now we're just in the UK, like done with the reason we came here. So we're like, we could just move back, but Ireland is just so much more expensive than England. Basically, like you can just go to a remote part of the UK and for really affordable rent, and there's basically nowhere in Ireland that has that. So we would we're probably considering going back in the next few years, maybe being closer to family again, but that's it's basically not affordable for us right now. So we're gonna just when the lease ends up here, we'll just be going to like the cheapest place possible in the UK, and hoping that family comes visit us, because it's a real headache to try to go visit them. You thought Rosie was British? She's both. She was born in England, and then when she was younger, she moved to Ireland. So her, like one side of her family is in Ireland, and And yeah, her brother who just had the daughter is in Ireland. So yeah, the majority of our family is in Ireland. But yeah, good memory though. Yeah, so what we're doing today is, I think, Cody, remind me if I'm wrong. Were you here for the last time I did the punishment programming, where I like had to remove a key from my keyboard every 5 minutes or something? I think that might have been you. Trying that again this time. Yeah, that was you. You were the one keeping track of all the letters. Way better than I was. Cool. So we need someone like you on this stream. Because what we're doing today is, if I make a single typo, I think I talked about this one of the times before. If I make a single typo, I gotta open up a typing test and force myself to get better. And hopefully through Pavlovian conditioning or some kind of conditioning, I can force myself to stop making so many goddamn typos when I'm programming. Oh, so it wasn't you. I don't know. I just remember there was like one person being really active, and that was around the time that you started watching. So yeah, it could have been someone else. Nearly just broke my light. And now it is refusing to stay stable. Okay, hopefully a massive light doesn't come crashing down on my head. But yeah, so far I have not actually typoed once, which is wild, but I haven't been doing too much typing because I'm trying to get to the bottom of a bug. But yeah. How have you been? How's the job? How's the family? I was watching, but someone else was tracking it. Gotcha. Yeah. Back when multiple people took part in my chat. That's my goal for this week, to have another person who engages in chat. Because yeah, I think the follower counter, my follower goal is like 20, and it's saying I'm on 19, but one of them was a bot from earlier. So still, if it's continuing counting that, maybe we'll hit our follower goal for the day. That'd be fun. Cool. So yeah, the bug that I'm trying to fix here is I've got this animated text hook that I built live on stream, and that like allows you give it a string, and then if you give it a string on the next render that's different, it'll animate between them, and it works, but it's got like this off by one error, which means that if what you've done is a code change, which is the whole point that I wrote it in the first place, is having it on my website here for screen recording code changes, it completely breaks because it's not including white space changes or something. And so I'm kind of trying to just figure out how I built this thing in the first place, and figure out why I did some of the weird stuff I did, and see if that can sort out the problem. So yeah, so this loop, we're trying to, at this point, if we're calling this function, we know that B string has stuff that A string does not. And so we're looping through it. Sorry, apologies. Rosie's coming into me. Give me 1 second. Okay, I need to just grab something for Rosie. I will be literally 1 minute. Be right back. Yeah, not back. Sorry, our apartment's really annoying. So we've got like I'm a tall man. For some reason, the shelves that they installed in the kitchen are even too high for me. Like I gotta really stretch to get up to the higher shelves. And Rosie's like a good foot shorter than me at least. So this place is pretty impossible for her. And I have a bad habit of tucking some important like kitchen accessories in place that she is simply unable to get them. So yeah, that's why I had to go help her. And then I made a big mess of it and knocked a bunch of shit over, and now she's having to clean that up. So good day. Right, so what I'm doing here, we're looping through the string that we know has some stuff that isn't in the first string. And so we're trying to find the first index that has the change, and then we're trying to see how many letters have been added in total, or like what the extent of the changed string is. So for some reason we had two separate loops doing this. We had one loop just going up to the point of trying to find the first character that's different. And then we were breaking and looping again backwards. Oh, is that why there had to be a separate loop? Yeah, so I'm trying to find the start index. At which point, yeah, okay, so that's probably where the off by 1 error is coming in. Yeah, this is going to be a funky stream of just me trying to figure out my own code. Apologies. But yeah, so we're going through the string, finding the first change, and we're doing that by just seeing, is like index I of string A the same as index I of string B? And at the first point that's not the case, we're tracking that. And we're saying that we've like found a change so that we can even report that. And then we were looping backwards. Yeah, so I guess that's why I had to have it as two separate loops. Because if you go from the start of the difference, say, you know, like at what index do the strings not align up? And then you keep doing that forward and you get to a character that is the same. You don't know if they're the same because it's now like the strings are lining up again, or if it's simply just coincidence that the same character happens to be there in two different strings. So maybe that's why I found the start index and then I found the end index, at which point they start differing. And then everything in between that is considered the difference. So I think that probably does still make sense to be the way of doing it. So I'll get rid of the changes I was making and try to see why this is not working. So I'll stick a debugger in here because this is, I'm pretty certain that it's this block that's killing me. So I had a bunch of debuggers in here already. Wait, let's see. Okay, so added index. Are these even my test strings? Let's see. No, they are not the test strings. Because I stuck in some stuff. Yeah, I'm still not sure why it only happens with like new line characters, because this didn't happen at all when I was testing it with just like plain text strings. But as soon as I started doing it with like multi-line blocks of code, it screwed up. But I guess it's simply the idea of changing stuff in the middle of a string is messing it up, because that's where it gets a bit complex, because we want the end to be the same and we want the start to be the same, and we're recognizing that stuff that this block of code is doing. So we're just going to keep getting rid of this breakpoint. Okay. What the hell? They say it's breaking on every iteration of this. Okay, cool. Right. Ah, god damn it. I need to trick it into breaking only at the invocation that I want it to, which means that I can't have this debugger in here, and I just need it at the top level, because one of these stories is like on a timeout. It's on a loop, like iterating through this thing that I'm trying to breakpoint with data that I don't care about. So that's annoying. So yeah, I only want it to break on this debugger then. Diff string additions. So what are the input strings here? Okay, so that's how I'm doing it. I've got this diff string additions function and I'm using it both ways. I'm checking LocalBoast. Hello, Goldmine44. Is that? Yeah, you're a returning viewer, aren't you? That name's familiar. Happy to see you again. Yeah, I'll just let everyone in chat know every time someone comes in. Yeah, we're doing a challenge stream today where if I make a single typo, I have to go off and do a typing test. So far, it hasn't happened yet because I haven't been doing much typing. But if I do start typing lots, I think it's going to become a shit show. Oh, chat is popping off. I love when two strangers engage with each other in my chat. It makes me feel like I've had some impact in the world. Right. Okay, so yeah, the way I'm doing this, I've got this like a single thing for diffing two strings. And so when I want to check what's been added between the two strings and what's been removed by them, I first diff them from like A to B, and then I diff them B to A, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense because it barely makes sense to me. So I'm not actually certain which invocation is the one causing the bug here. So at this point, I'll get rid of this breakpoint. I'll stick it down here. Because yeah, this, just like, it's going to be like an off by one error. LocalBoast bringing us together. It's like a big hug. So found addition. So what has been added here? It's saying nothing's been added, despite the fact that found addition is true, because that seems like a bug. Yeah, saying found addition is true despite the fact that they are different. Oh, I see. Yeah, so that, I just need to rename that variable because that is kind of a misnomer. Found difference, I guess. Because at this point we don't know if it's an addition or a removal. So I'll call it found difference. So it seems like that direction isn't screwing me up, but in the next way around, yes, this is where like we've actually got some additions. There was an option. What do you mean by that? Yeah, there was an option slash. Yeah, I'm wondering what that's about. Okay, so where am I? Once I get to the bottom of this bug, we'll do something fun. I'll spam some code into my editor and have to go off and take a typing test. Maybe we'll play some games later in the day. We'll try to be fun. But right now, I just really need to figure out this goddamn bug. So at this point, we have found an addition and the added index is 51. Let's see if that lines up. So car at 51. So I want to see, is it the index that's wrong here? A string. Oh dear. That's really confusing. I was hoping one of them would be a new line character or something. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, so that is the point that they are different, because the B string does have a new line character. And then this is the first thing that is in the A string but isn't in the B string, is the closing off of the brackets. Never mind, it's lost in the debugger. Okay. Yeah, so B string. And that's this character that, yeah, in the A string is the closing bracket and the B string is this guy. So I think at this point we are correct. that index is correct, and it's simply not going far enough, because what's happening with the bug is we're getting up this far and we're missing this new line character. And I need to figure out why. So it's going up as far as bstring.length minus added index. And is that correct? How much is that? That's 18 characters. Is that correct? How many characters are different? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? I have no clue. Why am I even doing this bstring.length minus added index? Oh, right. So I'm trying to say, go from the end of the string and walk it all the way back until... Oh, wait. Why the hell am I doing that? Oh, am I going from the start of the string? I'm being dumb here. This is bstring.length, is these number of characters, and we're walking it back by 51 characters to give us how many characters past the point that they are different are left in the string. Okay, so one... Why is there multiple spaces here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Is that right? So basically we're trying to just loop this for the amount of characters that are left in the string past the point that new stuff gets added. Does it count spaces too? It's supposed to. I don't have any logic in here to differentiate between the type of character. So it should be treating a space character and a new line character just like any other character. But that's what's frustrating, is that it doesn't really seem to be doing that. Because like, it always worked perfectly fine for just like strings like this. But as soon as I started using code with new lines, it's like missing the new line character. And I can't tell if it's because of the type of character or simply because it's like an off by one error and is missing the fact that it existed in the first string, or like the fact that there's a new line at the start and at the end, and it's treating them as if it's the same instance. So yeah, I'm still not even sure what the root of the bug is. So it's literally just going to the point of trying to figure out through the debugger at what point is stuff breaking. And why am I doing the things that I'm doing? So we're starting with index I. And why am I doing that? So we are going backwards, because we're starting at index at I being 0, and then we're taking away, we're like indexing it from the end. And we're doing a -1 because if we index it based off of length, it would be going out of bounds. Because if a string has 2 characters and we go to index 2, that's actually the 3rd character, so that's out of bounds. So we walk it back by -1, and then take away I to get the actual offset for the looping. So this should be starting us at the final character of B string and the final character of the A string. Okay, that makes sense. And so on the first loop, they should be the same because these characters should be closing bracket, right? No, they are not the same. What the hell? Oh shit, yeah, I was using the wrong string here. You know what? I just typoed. I didn't do it in my code editor, but I did it in an interpreter, so that counts. Because I can't finish this stream without doing it a single time. So here we go. The monkey type, I think, does keep track of my times, so it'll let me know if just that pog face in chat. Yeah, it does let me know if I've improved or gotten worse over time. I feel like I'm going to get worse over time. We're so completely contradicting the point of this challenge. But let's just see. So there's the overlay. You can see my lovely new Keychron board. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. No, going to cue up intense music. So you can see, I was doing so consistently, and then I mess up once, and it just throws me off. And I think that's the system with these is like, because messing up once means that your entire concept of what word you're on is gone. But I think that also affects me in programming. So yeah, there's our baseline, 91. It's going on the board. So place your bets now. Do I get way better or way worse over time? Or the conclusion will be, is there any point in doing any of this? Has it made me better or worse? Okay, Goldmine's going worse. I think I'm on board. I'm on your side, Goldmine. Okay, so what were we doing? We're seeing... Yeah, so these are the things we want to check. If the final character of the A string and the final character of the B string are the same. So on this first iteration, they are. So the characters are equal, so we continue looping. So at this point, so I is now 1, I think. Nope. Where the fuck is the breakpoint? Okay, so at this point, I is 1. And it's a new line. And on B, it's a new line. So the characters are equal. Okay. Bet I'm just going to find out now that, like, the logic for this just fundamentally makes no sense. That'd be fun. I have no idea where the actual breakpoint is right now. I just keep pressing forward until it starts working. There we go. I think for loops get weird with breakpoints. I try not to use them where possible, but when you're dealing with indexes, like, it's just real hard to make for each work when you've got like a number that you want it to run for. So you kind of just have to go for a for loop. So at this point, I is now 2. Let's see. A string and B string are differing. Okay. And that makes sense, right? Because A string, it's got a closing bracket and a new line, and then it's got an opening bracket. Whereas in B string, yeah. Okay, so it's all working correctly up to this point. This all makes sense. And now cars are not equal. So we're slicing. So I'm pretty sure it is this slice that's going wrong. So added index is 51. B string dot length minus 1. Why am I doing that? So at this point, we are not taking away the 1 because slice is exclusive with the second index. So like when we say slice from index 51 up to index whatever, we're not including this index. So that's why in this case, we're not taking away the minus 1. I'm explaining this to myself more than anybody, but hopefully it's kind of making sense. So yeah, the beginning of additions is at 51, and loop, where this iteration of the loop is the first time that this character is not present in this string. Okay, so that's why it's that, but without the minus 1. So this, I would think, makes sense. What is this index? It's 67. This is 61. So what does this substring look like? Which is incorrect. Oh shit. Yeah, it is just fundamentally broken, isn't it? Okay, I think I understand why it's breaking, and I am not sure what to fix. And it's not an off by 1 error. Interesting. So I think what's going on here is How will I represent this? Okay, I'll leave this intact. So let's say A, B, C, blah, blah, X, Y, Z. So yeah, in theory, what am I doing? I'm going to try to explain how the code is meant to be working. X. I bet this won't explain it very well. So if it's diffing these strings, it's going through them and saying, from the start, at what point does it start being different? So it's going on this index, they're the same. On this index, they're different. So we know that the span of change begins here. And then we go from the end of the string to find the end, like from the end when they start being different. So Z is the same, but now on this first to last index, they become different. And so that way, it's like a really basic way of saying, of diffing, because it's not doing funky, a bunch of different addition points. It's basically just saying start to end, what encapsulated region is changed. And so that's how it's working. And now I've already forgotten what is broken about this. So it's the fact. Nope. No, I've lost it. It's something about the fact that it's the same thing over here that's over here. So if instead of being, I'll rewrite this more stably. X, Z. Yeah, so if instead of being that, it was A again. Wow, this is the worst dry erase board ever. It's just smearing so bad. Okay, if it was A instead. So now A is at the start of the region and the end of the region. Why does that break it? No, so that's not what's happening. So this guy is still a Z, but this guy is becoming an A. Is that what's happening? Basically, like the equivalent of adding in a new line character that was already at the start. We're adding in a new line. I'm making myself more confused. I thought I had it so clearly in my head. I was putting it on paper to explain it to you guys. But now I'm realizing that I don't understand the problem. And one, then take away one. Add one, then take away one. Yeah, I was doing a bunch of additions and stuff to fix what I thought was an off by one error. But now I'm thinking it's not that. I think it's the way that I'm doing the check to see where the change happens is incorrect. So in this particular case, going back to the code, in this particular case, the added index, is this correct? What is the added index? Yeah, because this, what's checking has been added, doesn't include the new line that came before, which is correct because that new line is present in that same index in both strings. But it's not including the new line at the end. Yeah, okay, so a more clear example of what's going wrong. Where's the top down? More clear example of what's going wrong is, say if we had A, B, A, and we were diffing it with A, A, B, C, B, A, it should be recognizing that a C and a B have been added. But because I'm doing the thing where I'm seeing like at what point does the change start and what point does the change begin going this way and what point does the change begin going this way, it's seeing that A and B existed at the start, and BA exists at the end, so the only difference is C. But as we can see, that's not correct. So I think my concept of going from the end to find the change simply doesn't work. This is funky. So again, the reason I think, or at least the reason I originally had it so that I need to be going from the end is that once, say I'm going through it and I find the first index that I start being different. If I just keep going this way and I come across a character that's the same, that doesn't really tell me anything. So like, say, if that's the difference, and we get to this point and see, oh, the B's are the same, that doesn't mean that they've stopped differing and I need to stop checking, because there's also an A here that needs to be considered. So that's why I had the idea of like, okay, we find the start index and we find the end index that's different, and just treat that entire range as different. So like, I guess I could... Actually, I might be in a complete dunce here. Maybe I am. So the part of the reason for this is to know... So, go back to this. Music's a bit loud. So part of the reason for this is to know how long the word that has been added is. So in this case, the word, like the added section is this CB, but we don't really know how long that is until we do the character per character checking. But since we only care about the entire section that's different, the length that's different of this is just going to be the length difference between these two words. So I can just say, I think we're correctly finding the start index if I simply treat the length of the word that's different as this dot length minus this dot length. I think that's a way more efficient and correct way to do it. Let's see if that works. Oh, I'm gonna be chuffed if that works. And now I've got to try to rip apart the code that was already there, or I guess just disable this, comment this out. Actually, I still want that condition in there, because when I was writing this, I decided that I want this API to be able to say -1 if there hasn't been an added index, and I don't want to break that now because I probably use that somewhere else. So at this point, if we found a difference, all shit, is that wrong? Is this gonna work? Oh, maybe it isn't that simple, because a word can have additions and removals. I'm just gonna try it. Screw it. Added equals b string dot slice added index up as far as, what am I doing? Added index plus b string dot length minus a string dot length. I might have typoed there, but I'm not certain. Need to put brackets around this, I think. Oh, yeah, typoed. Hit a times that I didn't want. Okay. Let's see if I can beat my monkey type record. Come on. Here we go. What was the time before? 91. That's the time to beat. Wait, it's saying repeated. Oh, I don't want to do the same one again. How do I... Screw it. Okay. Small man, I increase point. Must fact about... No. Oh, God. Ah. Oh, no. Worse. It's going to be worse. Yeah. 72. That's a good bit worse. I like that it's tracking the graph over time though, so we can really see just a gradual downward slope. I'll break that up a bit. 72. Last typo of the day. Okay, so problem I was having with code. Where am I code? There am I code. So the thing I'm concerned about is that it's not as simple as this string has everything that this string has, but with some extra stuff. If that were the case, then I could just span this length. But this string can contain removals as well. As in, like, what do we do? Okay, so what's an example? Does this make sense? If this is ABC BA, this gets rid of C and adds in D. Yeah, if it adds in like 2 Ds and a BA. So here's a case where the start 2 letters match, the end 2 letters match, but we're removing the letter C and adding 2 letter Ds. So in this case, if we were just to subtract the lengths, this length is 6, this length is 4, no, this length is 5, yeah. So if we just subtracted the lengths, we'd still be wrong. So in this case, it does make sense to do the whole walking backwards thing. I'm confused. Although, yeah, I don't know. It's as if like I need logic in there to detect that this problem is going wrong. And if so, account for it by 1. But I suppose it might not even be 1, right? Because like there might be multiple Ds here and multiple Ds here, or like Bs, whatever, you know, multiple new lines. I feel like if I were off stream, this would be making a lot more sense to me. Okay. So this isn't a good example again, right? Because this doesn't actually have the bug. It's if it's ABA. There, where the same character is being treated as matching the start and the end. So do I just need to add that detection in? So when I'm looping through here, the added index, yeah, is what's going on is we're going farther back than the added index. Does that make sense? Sorry, you're not seeing the code. Yeah, okay, so does that make sense? So this is what, like 870 or something, and added index is like 50. So this is going to run for 20 characters or something, 20 iterations. Is the problem that this is going so far back that this index is bypassing the added index? I think it might be. And if we simply detect that that's happened, then the cars aren't equal. I think that might be a way to fix this. Okay. And this is complex because we're dealing with the lengths of the two different strings. This music is, despite it's supposed to be being intense, this is kind of like, I'm finding it almost inspirational. It's like I'm seeing the numbers flying through the air. So just back to the paper example, does that make sense? So in this, if we're going from the end of the string and walking it back, we're seeing, yep, this is the same. So the strings, the characters are still equal. Go back here, these are the same, but on this string, we have gone back so far that the current index being considered is equal to or less than the start index. And that is problematic. So I could add that condition in here, but that'll just make that really awkward. So yeah, I can just stick that here. So if cars are equal, if a string dot length, if this is greater than the added index, will that fix everything? Does that even make sense? So what are we saying here? If, oh shit, I wasn't showing the screen. So what I added there was if I extended this condition to say it's only, the characters are only equal if the original strings, if the index we're looking at on the original string is greater than the start index on the original string, which is added index. Only one way to find out. Let's just see if it works. Let's just test it. So where did I stick that in here? Okay, so in this example, I'll zoom in real far so y'all can see it. So I press next. Uh-oh. So it kind of worked, but now we've got two closing brackets. I think I added that in. Yeah. Okay, so that's showing us difference. Gonna get rid of that change and hope that that was just a new bug that I didn't want. Fuck. Refreshing the page and hoping it was just a weird caching issue. No, it's still doing it. It's adding in multiple closing brackets. Why? Okay, so what even is this value? Should I just be like assigning this value to a variable to have a better understanding of it? Const offset from a string is that, and then we'll make the same one for, yeah, I typoed. I didn't mean to type that that number one. We're going type and test. Okay, the number to beat, 72. This is the correct music already. Okay, next test. Not gonna miss a single character here. Watch me. Nope, not today. Today is not my day. And also my dog is attacking me. It was good, but not great. We can do better. So that one, 90. I know the website is tracking my times, but I mean, I've got a whiteboard for some reason, and I don't know what that reason is, so hopefully it's this. I think every time I screw up, I should put on like some sad music. Yeah, so now back to some sad programming. So I was doing I was just assigning these to variables. Fuck me, I just typed the wrong character. Back to the coding test, or the typing test. Coding test was actually an idea I had for another stream. It's not even programming, just like, let's just take some React tests on stream and see how I do. Could be fun. I feel like I've done ones on like LinkedIn before. Like, oh, you say you're good at JavaScript. Take our JavaScript test. They're a bit of fun. Rosie is looking at me with sad puppy dog eyes, like she needs me to grab something in a high place. Is that the case? We'll be right back. And we're back. Got a busy morning at the office today, so it'll be hard lurking. Yeah, no worries if you're still here. Yeah, you give me plenty of your time as it is, so feel free. Okay. So hopefully no more needing to get stuff for Rosie from a high place, but we'll deal with it as we need to. Okay, Luna's here by my side, giving me support, and this time I will get over 100. Over 100 words per minute. Here we go. Ah! It was so good until then. Got over 100 though. Okay, that's my best one today. 106. I was psyching myself out there going, oh my god, haven't missed one. 106. I also didn't have the top-down camera, so guess the speedrun moderators won't approve it. But let's put on some, yeah, this is deserving of some happy music. Not quite music, but okay, so no more typos. No more typos for the rest of the stream. Offset from B string. Oh, showing the wrong thing. There we go. Yeah. It's annoying. I'm just seeing the chat bubble is like getting cut off on the side. I told it not to do that. Like I told it to have like to wrap if it's gonna be cut off. So it's annoying that it's still doing that. I think it's only missing a few pixels, but that's frustrating. That is something I want to build on stream some days because I've got Twitch chat bot stuff built into the library. I want to mess around with making my own chat overlay thing because it's at that point I've got the code there for like finding the messages. This music's way too loud. Yeah, I've got the code there for finding the messages. So really all that's involved is all the other stuff. Like the design, implementation, markup, realizing how or figuring out how the hell emojis work, because I have no idea. Hopefully it's just a string that you can just chuck into the browser and it'll just render, but I'm not certain. But yeah, I think that could be a fun thing to work on because those like chat bubble overlays, if you find one that's at all customizable, you're doing real well. So I think it'd be interesting to be able to like fully build one from scratch. And also if it's like really tweakable and it's just on the website, then anyone else can use it. And basically I would never have like servers set up because I don't want to do that. But like the one on, I could just like have it on the website, and all you do is put in your chat, your channel name, and then just like embed that on your OBS, whatever. I don't need to explain to a bunch of sausage eaters how the sausage is made. But yeah, it's something I'm probably going to look into eventually once I'm looking for the next project. So why was I extracting these? It is because I want to see some chill music going. Yeah, so I was hoping that that would be the solution to the problem. That wasn't a typo. I copy pasted the wrong thing. Copying and pasting the wrong thing does not count as a typo. I'm gonna be, oh, if you call things that are typos that aren't typos, you and me, buddy. All right, so this is what I was hoping. Actually, should I just stick that in here as well? -1. Oh no, this be +1. Yeah, I don't know if that actually makes it more or less clear by using this abstracted value that I then have to increment. But yeah, so the point of this condition is we're seeing, let's go to the top down camera. So we're trying to see where, yeah, that's probably a good way to show this. So we're trying to see, like, we've got the start index that they start being different. Oh shit, that's not the start index that they start being different. Is that why it's not working? This is the start index that they start being different. And now we're going backwards. Once we get to a character, that's the same. And so without checking the indexes, we would be saying that A is the same and B is the same. But at this point, the index we're dealing with is less than the start index. So this should be greater than or equal to. And now this is just going to work perfectly. Refreshing, because refreshing makes everything better. Okay, next. I think that's done it. I think that's fixed it. Oh, that makes me real happy. Some triumphant music, please. Get something going. Some happy music. Come on. Happy music. That's loud.
Great.
Yeah, those sound effects are on like a different audio channel than my music, and I don't have a handy way of controlling how loud those are. So yeah, that comes in real loud. But it's just some happy Yu-Gi-Oh music. Cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Shit, all my readmes are wrong now. Bjorn build storybook, because I'm going to commit this and see if it works on the website now. Because I think the rest of the fixes for this are website code. What is so broken about this? Okay, yeah. Yep, don't want to get rid of these random debuggers. These ugly debuglings, as I like to call them. That was something I slipped into a new video that I put out this morning. Was I went to write the word like ugly debugger or ugly debugging in some annotation, and I called it ugly debugling. And I feel like no one's going to notice it, but I was pretty happy with that. there's a bunch of stuff here that I forgot to commit before, so yeah, I'll just commit all this as well. Difference. Okay, so these are where the actual changes come in. Commit these separately. Because even if we're just working on our own code base, we want to be good. Read only bullshit. Right. So we were just renaming these, and we added this check to make sure that we're not going back on ourselves. That is a solution to all of our problems. Yeah, so I don't need this check anymore because I'm still doing this. Cool. Fix. I typoed. I wrote Ricks instead of fix. Okay. Let's see. 106 is the number to beat. Sorry, my cat has gone higher in her cat tree than ever before, so I'm just a little proud of her. You go, cat. Okay, next test. 106 is the time to beat. Luna, you got to play ball here and stop asking me to play rope. We got this. Ah, we're gone. We're done. I have to keep going. Oh, I broke it. Yeah. Okay. So that's an all-time low. That was rough. That was no good. Do you know why? Didn't have music playing. Song ended. Didn't have another one queued up. I have only myself to blame. I just pressed random of all my songs, random, and the song that played was the saddest song on my list, so that's appropriate. Wrong button. There we go. So yeah, fix animated text going back on itself. I'm typing harder than I normally do as well because I'm like trying to like really prick at all the individual keys rather than just like let my fat fingers mush the keyboard. Cool. So that's there. I'll build the library code and then get the website code up and running. God, I hate Windows terminals. LocalBoast.com. Not storybook. Yarn run. Nope. Yarn dev. Not a typo. I chose to type the wrong word. It's not a typo. Where are we now? Cool. So here's the local build of the website. It's not normally that big. I zoomed in because I'm on a massive monitor. Oh, I thought I made this look nice. In my work in progress page, I've got styled up displays for these. So here's the playback component. I've even got a nifty little GIF in there, roughly showing how it's supposed to work. Yeah, when I zoom in like crazy, it really makes stuff go wonky. Okay, so let's see, there's still a bunch of bugs with this, but I think the bugs that are in it are on the website side. So let's see if that's the case. Where are we? Yeah, I'll just grab some random code here. So problem 1, you'll see when I paste this in, it'll like animate it. Yeah. So we want to get rid of that. because it shouldn't animate as you're on the page. It should only, I guess it should only be animating when you click onto the new page. So does that make sense? So I imagine there's probably like a use effect that detects the page index changing, and that's what changes the string to use. So at that point, I should reset a flag to allow the animation to happen. This is an intense song. Yeah, so I think that's probably a way to do it. Just so by, like, I'll need a boolean to control whether or not the animation even happens. And yeah, basically toggle that on and off, depending on how the user has interacted with this. But yeah, what we want to first see, I'm going to change this background color because this is hideous. This is the problem with my green screen approach, is like finding a color that doesn't intersect with any of the color palettes in the actual interpreter. Screw it. Let's go there. It's sort of like a mustard yellow. It's definitely overlapping with a bunch of stuff, but so we're in 2. Okay, it's not, I feel like before it would have even had some weird animation here, but maybe not. Let's see. If I get rid of this return. Okay. So it's recognizing that there's a new line, a few spaces, and a new line. And I go to the next tab. That's working as being correct, and it's leaving the new lines intact. I think that the more complex of the bugs is fixed. Thank Christ. Because yeah, to compare this with the production one, let's see how it looks on production. LocalBoast.com. Oh, I changed some of the routing on the website, so I guess that's apps replay. Yeah, right. I renamed it from replay to playback because I think playback's a bit more fun. Because it's got, well, no, they both have play in it. Don't listen to me. What do I know? Right, so I'm just comparing how this looks on production, and hopefully I'm not just going to have egg on my face, and hopefully it will be like very clearly broken. So on production, when I switch between them, god damn it, it's working there too. Okay, so I have not proven that I have fixed the problem. What about if I go back here and then get rid of that space? Because I swear this was like really broken before. Okay, yeah, so you can see that I just got rid of this space, but it's still there. And what if I copy this over to tab 3? Yeah, that's already there. So on this one, if there is a space, but on number 1, there isn't a space. Yeah, so it's like refusing to play ball there. It's not as broken as I thought it would be. Okay, so there's a separate bug, I think. Switching pages had it just overwrite the contents of the wrong page, which I think is something to do with, I think it's like calling back the change handler as it's animating. So I need to make it, like if I change page, it should just kill any animation and stop any change handlers firing. Because I don't know why the change handlers would fire through its own animation, but that's something for us to figure out. So yeah, like page 2 shouldn't have any of this stuff. And I think this will still be just as broken over here. God, that mustard is horrible to look at. Yeah, that's quite nice. Oh, So yeah, it's just decided that that's now page 1. So yeah, that's a mindfuck I had trying to use this to like actually build a demo for a video I was making. Is that like sometimes you'd be clicking changing the tabs and it would just decide to like save over the state that you've done here. And I think that's because like I think I've probably got like an event detection for like overwriting, for like persisting to the state. Let's see what I've even done. Replay. So the component is called playback, but the page is called replay. Gotta fix that. Playback and rename this to playback. It wasn't a typo. I started typing replay and deleted it and went back to playback. It's not that I mistyped, it's that I misthought. So at what point am I calling set page data? We're calling it when we change the current page. Calling it when we add a new page, when we remove a page. So when are we detecting changes on change current page? Oh. On change current page is probably a bad name because I read that and thought it was like changing the index page. On update, on edit current page. That's what I'll call it. Bit more clear. So for some reason, this function is being called at inappropriate times. And there's probably a bunch of other stuff happening. Yeah, there's some weirdness where like when I add a new page, sometimes it switches to it and sometimes it doesn't. So like I'll just look at the code I did for that and see, does anything stand out to me as very wrong? Where is the new page button? None of this is making sense to me. Add new page. On add new page. So we're calling set page data. We're extending it. So maybe my assumption was wrong, that I always thought that this would be called immediately. So like you can call set page data and that by the time you get here, this would have already ran. But maybe that's not always the case. Yeah, it's probably needlessly risky because I think it's probably the kind of thing that it usually is the case, but if there's batched updates, it delays it a render. Because React can be a bit mysterious like that. So yeah, this is probably a bit risky. Could I move this in here? I feel like calling a state setter within the callback of another state setter is probably a bit shitty. Especially because it's probably going to cause multiple renders. But I don't think we need to do this. I think in here, this isn't memoized anyway, so I'll simply say page data dot length. That's actually correct, right? Because we'll be adding a new value. So the new page index will be the existing page data dot length -1 +1. So yeah, I'll just get rid of that. Move that back down here and hopefully that gets rid of that bug. But we won't actually see until we like really try to stress test this because it was kind of a hard bug to reproduce in the first place. Stick that here, stick that there, zoom this out so we can actually use it. So I think that's one bug I had. I made like a list of these bugs. Persist hide. replay. Yeah, so don't animate when we're pasting in is the next one I should probably work on. I think that's also what's causing this issue, where I saw one that if you start typing randomly, it'll like the cursor will like jump to the end of the paragraph, which is obviously really annoying because then you're typing in the wrong part. And I think that's because it was like when we type, it would detect a change, it would cause the animated text to play, and that updates the cursor position. Yeah, it's a bit fucky. So hopefully those two kind of get fixed in the same thing. Replay component, randomly overwriting state content. That's when switching tabs. Yeah, that's one to really look into. So I might not have even mentioned the bug that I just fixed, because it was a really low priority one that just, if you add a new page, sometimes it didn't take you there. Yeah, we just saw that happen there. So add a new one. It's always supposed to take you there, but say I'm on page 2 and I add a new one. There, see, it didn't take me there. It jumped back to index 1. Ooh. I don't know why that would be the case. Let's see, is that still happening? So, oh, I am covering up this window, aren't I? So, I'm going to zoom it in to make these buttons look a bit bigger. So the problem is, if I click plus, it should always take me to the new page. So it's taking me to 2, it's taking me to 3. Say if I go to a different page and click add one, it takes me to 4. Go to a different page, it takes me to 5. Okay. So yeah, I think that might have just fixed that bug. Still not certain why it was happening, but I think I was doing something just a bit shady. Expecting this to have always run before this does. So yeah, that seems to have done the trick. And I'll delete all these. Okay, so really got to see why onEdit current page is getting called inappropriately. Let's see if I can stably reproduce that. So let's say if I just stick like this there and then stick all of this over here. I don't like that that's going off the page, but guess we don't want it to wrap because it's code. But I don't like that the UI is actually expanding to fit it. That's no good. Okay, I'll actually, is that something that I could fix here on the front end real quick? You see, like max width 100. Oh god. I should not have made this all so big. Yeah, I've made like everything really zoomed in so it can be visible in chat, and now this is impossible for me to use. So what is going on? This guy is fitting content. Yeah, that makes sense, but we should have it be scrollable, I think. So down here where we've got our code, if I just make this more for max width, that's a Mantine thing. Max width that, and style overflow auto. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, I've said max width 100%. This is a case where like max width isn't set higher up, therefore it oh yeah, it's max width is 100%, so but the parent width is driven by the child content. That's fucked. So is it this guy? He's fitting his content. He shouldn't be. 977. If I set page body to be max width 100 VW, that should clamp it. 100 VW. Okay, that almost gets me there. So now if I say max width 100%, nope, that's still overflowing. Percentage widths when a thing has padding is always fucked because it's like 100% of the parent, but it's inset, so it's getting bigger than it should be. I think this is a thing to fix another day. Maybe. What if I just very quickly, very quickly wrap this in Mantine scroll area? What props do I need to give it? Scroll area dot auto size. That might be exactly what I need. More. Yeah. I don't think that's actually fixing anything, is it? Oh. Interesting. So it's filling with... Okay, yeah, it's still... Yeah, it hasn't fixed anything. Yeah, screw it. I'll fix that another day. I'll just take note of that. Nope. Playback code bigger than 100 VW breaks page. Okay. So what was I even trying to do here? Right, I was trying to reproduce a situation where switching pages randomly calls the state setter. So let's see if it happens. If I switch back and forth between the two, nothing's happening. But what if I change state now? No. If I just like keep bouncing back and forth between the two. Oh. Yeah, it's broken now. And why is that? I'm going to inspect the state and see, like, is the actual data object fucked? Yeah. Okay, so it has actually mutated the state to have this. So I'm just going to stick a breakpoint in here and try to trace where it's being called from and or why. See if I can just reproduce that. You go away. Okay. So when I switch page, it does not call the edit function, which is good. I would not expect it to. But if I switch page back and forth while it's animating, it hasn't broken yet. I bet it's going to just be a fluke that it'll never happen again. Oh, it happens so... Oh, okay. It's done it. So it's calling new string. Where did that happen? Code component is calling because the dirty code content has updated. That's annoying. Like, I think that was always going to be the case, but I have no idea why. Dirty code content. Basically, dirty code content is, I don't know if it's a standard thing, prefix things with dirty. Basically means that the local state has been updated and it hasn't yet. It needs to now propagate that up to the parent who's providing like a bigger picture state. So it's like if you, the idea of a dirty thing, I'm just going to Google, is that a thing that I just picked up from a coworker that like no one else uses? React dirty state. No, do not just want to Google the word dirty state. It's going to talk about like America. Dirty. There's not a lot of mention of it. Set state dirty is true. Dirty value programming. Dirty data is outdated data. Interesting. Generally, dirty flags are used to indicate that some data has changed and needs to eventually be written to some external destination. It isn't written immediate because adjacent data may also get linked changes, and writing bulk data is generally more efficient. Okay, so that lines up with my understanding of it. So the idea being that, like, if you've got a parent context or something that has like a string value, let's say, and the page needs to be rendered based on what the contents of that string value are. You know, if an input component changes the value, obviously you want to propagate that up to the parent. But if you update the global state every single time a character is changed and someone types quickly, you're potentially updating global state and re-rendering the entire page 10 times a second, you know, if you're a fast typer like I am. That's a joke if anyone is new, because this stream is all about me being bad at typing. Yeah, so if you've got a quickly changing low-level state that is like reflective of the global state, you can have the idea of like a dirty version of the data, which is like you're locally storing all the immediate changes, but then you batch them and like have a delayed update at the top level. So that's why where was I had a breakpoint on. So that's why the code component, when content changes, it's considered the dirty content having changed. And then once we recognize that dirty content changes, it gets updated to the parent through a use effect. So it's, for some reason, the dirty content is being updated despite us only changing the page, which as far as the code component is concerned, just means that the props have updated. And the dirty code content gets updated when the props updates. Code content ref does not equal dirty code content. Where is code content ref set? It's set through a use updating ref. Okay. So I'm trying to understand my own code here. So when the code content prop, where is that? Code content is coming here from the props. When that updates, we call this use effect to sync that with our dirty code. Is there any music playing? Did it just crash? So when that dirty code content updates, or when the code content updates, we update our local dirty version of it, because if the parent is updated, we want to get rid of any of our local changes, because that's the parent updating is more important than us updating. And then we have a use effect that when the dirty content changes, check some stuff. So at this point, we're calling this on change, and that's the bug. We don't want it to be calling here when only changing pages, but it's only happening sometimes. And so I think it's a timing issue to do with updating the refs. So this updater is only called when we recognize that our local dirty content changed. Sorry, I'm hearing a sad dog whimpering. I think she might want to go out. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let her out so Rosie can make her happy. Don't know if she actually wanted to go into the other room. She seemed sad that she was getting kicked out of here, but she was also sad in here anyway. She's a very cry-y dog, as any regulars of the stream will know very well. Right, so yeah, so there's an issue with this check here. We're comparing our state version of the dirty code content, which is the thing that we've recognized as changing. We're only calling this if that doesn't match the code content ref, which is set here through a use effect, which is set when code content updates. So is the problem that we're comparing the value of a ref that's updated through a use effect and state that's updated through a use effect. Because when we call this state setter, it's not set immediately because React can have a delay to that. So I think we might be able to fix it by kind of duplicating this value into a ref that we can then compare here because that's more immediate. I'm going to try that and see if we can reproduce the bug because it's a pretty bad one, and adding more refs kind of makes things a bit more complex. And so I try not to do it if you don't need to, but sometimes it just kind of makes everything better. So where will I stick that? Const, so what? Dirty code content. I typoed uppercase O. It's kind of cheating finishing out the word before I go and do the typing test. So yeah, I'll go back. Monkey type. Okay. The time to beat is 46 words. It's not a time. The time to beat is 46 words per minute. Can we do it? I really hope so. And Rosie has just kicked Luna back in here, so I guess she doesn't know what she wants. I guess she wants to come up here. Join us on stream. While I type. Ooh, and she's gonna mess up my cable, isn't she? Really can't blame her. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so she's gonna be my good luck charm. And we're gonna frickin' ace this test. 100 words per minute. Let's go. Instantly fucked up. I can pull it back. Oh, no I can't. I mean, I'd like to blame the dog. I'd like to say that she's kicking around and knocking my hands, but no, she's being an angel. And that's actually not, it's far from the worst test we've taken today. Our previous time, 46. We are now 62. We were previously on like 90s and even 106 words per minute. I feel like we're not going to get there again today. But still, improvement is improvement. Some happy music to celebrate. Okay, so what I was doing adding a ref. We don't want to use an updating ref because we want to be able to, we want to set it immediately. We don't just want it to update when the state changes, because the whole point of using this ref is to update it immediately when things change. So dirty code content, is that not defined yet? No, it's not. It's down here. So dirty code content ref. So the point of this ref is that whenever we're setting the state for dirty code content, we immediately update the ref as well. Set dirty code content, which is over here. Oh yeah, I think I just threw in a TS ignore on stream because I wasn't bothered figuring that out. So set dirty code content, it's called there. Yeah, screw it. I was considering making a whole function just for like calling the setter and updating the ref, but probably overkill. Ooh, Luna is kicking a lot. I think she's happy to be on my lap, but not happy to be so uncomfortable that she's on my lap. Where did I want to update? Set dirty. Yeah, here we go. It's missing dependency code content. Right. Here we go. Const new content is this. New content. New content. There we go. So, and now we want to use that ref in the condition. Is Luna trying to get down, or is she just trying to get comfy? Let's see. Better. Ooh. Now she's on my bed, and hopefully she falls asleep for the next day. So yeah, the whole point of doing that is so that in here, when we're checking whether or not we should actually be calling the top level updater, we can compare the ref instead of comparing the state. Because is that important? The whole point of this being called is that it's called when this value updates. And so if yeah, okay. So I guess what's happened is if this value updates, sorry, if code content updates, which triggers dirty code content updating, which triggers this to run, but by this point, code content has already updated again. This music keeps stopping automatically. So by the time that this runs, code content ref has updated yet again. That's when the mismatch comes in. That like this is being recognized as just having changed. Sorry, dirty code content is recognized as just having just changed, but by the time we're processing that change, code content ref has changed again. Which is why we need a use effect listening on for that code content change. And you know what, instead of an updating ref, yeah, I'll get rid of that because that's making things confusing, and I'll just use this existing use effect. So we'll do this setting in here. I'll switch this from an updating ref to just a regular old use ref. So now these refs, when the code content updates, both of these refs immediately change, as well as the state being set. So that by the time we get to this use effect, we have most up-to-date values. Now let's build this and see if it's all fixed. I feel like it won't. But it was kind of a hard bug to reproduce anyway, so we'll see. Let's see if it just doesn't happen. Is that even finished building? Yeah, it is. give a nice... Well, what color are we feeling? Kind of like a... Almost like a banana sweets. That's what this makes me think of. Kind of like a gross banana color. Okay, what string will we stick in? Yeah, I'll stick in the very use effect that's saving our lives. Yep, so that's updated. That's good. That debugger was supposed to be called. And we are updating it to be this contents. Now the debugger's called again. That's good. Okay, so switching back and forth between these two. Prior to our fix, at a certain point, the change handler was called and broke everything. Overwrote our local state, or overwrote the page contents because the component was being done. And I'm hoping that I'm just going to keep doing this back and forth and see if we, like, I don't know what I'm hoping for. I don't want it to break because I want my fix to have worked. But I'm also kind of left without a clear thumbs up or not to know whether or not it worked. But, you know, I think by this point it would have broken, and I'm clicking pretty fast. I think I fixed it. Refs to the rescue. Yet again. It's really loud. Sorry, it's really loud.
Great.
I'm gonna turn down those alerts. I think that's on there.
Great.
It's a bit less ear wrecking. Cool. Sweet. So I'm considering that bug fixed. Replay component randomly overwriting state when chain switching tabs. Check. Check. Okay. What was... Oh, just get some music going. What was the other interesting bug there? Oh yeah, make it not animate when you're typing or when you're pasting. So what I was saying before was I want to add like a control to decide whether or not the component should even animate. So let's see, do I have that in there? Is animated text something that I'm doing here, or did I add that into the code component? I don't think I added it to the code component. Oh, I must have. Oh, sorry, no. I was looking at the wrong page. Silly me. Okay, so animated text is coming from this. So the question, I guess we could just say whether or not we want to use that or use the original string. Or we could use animated text to have an option to disable animating. Feels kind of silly. Feels kind of silly to have a hook that animates text that has an option to disable animating text. But maybe that would be the best to make it extensible. Or just like as widely usable as possible. Let's see if I've got anything like that already. I feel like I might have some sort of like trigger to make it happen immediately. Maybe not. I might be thinking of something else. Yeah, I think it'd probably just be simpler to have it done through this component of like checking. Because we know what the actual full string is. So like, I don't know, current text. Does that make sense? as the non-animated current page data. Is that what I should call it? Current page data? Yeah. Current page. Active page data. Not typos. I just typed the wrong thing. It's different. So active page data is there. So then it's a question of which of these do I show and when? So when we switch page, I guess if we've interacted with any of the buttons, what would be a good way to do that? I wonder. So let's say, just gonna have this be state for now. Should animate. It might make sense to like switch it out to a ref or something after, but I think this probably makes sense for now. And set should animate. Fuck! That was a typo. I could like feel it coming. Sorry. I keep showing my WhatsApp on chat or on stream. Really gotta stop doing that. Yeah, so like I could feel that typo coming. I was like, huh, I've been typing a lot of words here and haven't gotten anything wrong. Oh no, some brackets are coming up. Better not mistype that. Yeah, I nailed it. And then I just typed an extra bracket for no reason. Okay, I'm asking Rosie to help me with the dog. Because we have a deal. I look after the dog when I'm not on stream. I look after her so much. Just making sure that the wet patch on the bed was from her licking and not her peeing. Yeah, that doesn't smell like pee. We're good. Okay. Cranking up this sad song. I'm gonna nail this typing test. Here we go. Wait for the bass to drop. There it is. $98, damn, with all those typos. Okay, okay. I'm surprisingly, like, I feel like there's no trend whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, that... Like... Despite the fact that there was a dog pulling at me and got things on my mind, still got surprisingly good result. So happy music all around. Happy music for everybody.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
I don't know why I picked this one. Just it just gets me good at programming. I don't know. So the bug is still not happening. I'm considering that done. What was I playing around here? Yeah. if anyone is watching, they are absolutely just muting the stream right now, right?
In a world we must pretend.
I'm going to stop that. Ugh. I mean, I find it funny that I can still only take a little bit of it. So should animate, I'm going to say true. And then as soon as the current page data changes, I'm going to set that to false. Does that make sense? I think it does. So use effect. I bet there's conditions I'm not considering here. Current, no, not current page data, just page data. So if page data changes, then I'm going to set should animate to false. Yeah. See, I feel like this is kind of right, but I think I'm still going to hit problems where, like, there's going to be a render where it's true. So I think I need to set this before I actually call set page data. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Const update page data. Oh, it's a bad name, but let's go with this for now. Fucking typo. Call badge. Okay, we're gonna break 100. Here we go. Don't even have the dog in here with me anymore this time. We got this. I'm not showing my hands. I'm sorry. Ah! God, I'm fucked up. I think if I just hadn't typed that spam at the end, it probably would have been a lot better. Like, my raw was 100. Yeah, my accuracy just tanked because I spammed all those bad letters. I was doing so well until like 12 seconds in. But that's the last typo of today. So, doesn't even matter. That's going to be my last time. So that's going on the board. 69. Okay. Last typo. Do you think I could argue that that asterisk was supposed to be there? I don't think I can. Yeah, this, I feel like this stream idea isn't one of my best. I built it up for so long, it's not great. Do, should, under, few, problem, however, but little, same, just, head, each year, group play after May 1, then, if, head, back, develop. 93. Not bad, however, look at this shit. So I'm pretty sure these are like just randomly generated words, just like taken from a random big old index of an endless amount of words. Screw it. Look at what's it's saying. Do, should, under, few, problem, however. Yeah, it's garbage. But little, same, just give head each year. Group play. After May 1, then, if head back, develop. Since, yeah, I think that's still nonsense. But yeah, just give head each year. It's, this is a family stream. Monkey type. I don't want any of this, this filth. Shit, I didn't note that down. What time did I even get? 93, was it? 93. My trend continues to be just completely sporadic. No trend whatsoever. But that's the last typo of the day, so it doesn't matter. So it's a use callback that is designed to call my state setter. So what is it? Set page data. So this is going to take a string array, new data is a string array. It's going to set page data to new data. And before doing that, it's going to set should animate to false. And so the reason I'm doing that is that for set page data, for the page data to be updated, prior to that getting written to memory or written to the state, we will always be stopping this animation going through, is the theory. So you know what? I'm going to update this typing to be this. Yeah, that makes sense. So now I can say update page data. I hit a fucking bracket. Okay. I don't know what is the whole point of the stream, is doing the monkey type, and every time I do it I'm genuinely mad at myself, like, oh, this is so frustrating, this is such a pain. Ugh. Do should under few problem, however, but little same, just give head each year, group play after May 1, then if head back develop. Oh my god, it was so perfect. It was a cheating because I had just repeated this one from before to look at giving head, but I'm taking it. 101. So it's an improvement from where I was at the start and from where I've been for a good while. But 106 continues to be our peak. And it will continue being the peak because that's the last typo of the day. So making sure I wasn't hearing myself in my monitoring. I was just afraid that I've just been talking to nobody, that I had left my mic muted. That would have been fun. So yeah, so in here I'm calling update page data, so there should be nowhere else that's calling set page data. There's a bunch of places. So this should be update page data. Actually, you know what? Maybe a better way of doing this. This is all going to be set page data. And I'm going to be real dirty here. This is underscore set page data, as in to imply that it's like an internal value. That no one else should be using this. I'm the only one who can use this. Everyone else call this guy. It's kind of bad because it's implying that this is just a state setter, but it's actually doing something else. But I'm standing by it. Const string to text to display is should animate. That's a typo. Okay, this fast turnaround, this is what we need. This is good. This, never, group, change, over, seam, follow, have, group, few, make, call, order, each, head, have, program, only, form, place, about, present, like, more. A few mistakes, but it's pretty good. Pretty good time. Accuracy 95 though. No good. I gotta be making zero mistakes. I went to scratch my eye. I'm not used to wearing glasses. hit the lens. Okay. Animated text. Otherwise, what active page data. So there's text to display. Get rid of that debugger. And now the code, we're going to give it the text to display. Makes sense to me. So we don't even need this use effect, I guess. So that's like one side of it. We're clearing the animation when the content changes, but we're never setting it back. So to verify this, if I come in here, I really need to fix this color picker as well. It's quite shitty. So if I type in here, this isn't a typo. I'm meaning to type every one of these characters. Yeah, so none of this is animating. And I can, yeah, paste stuff in and it's not animating. Change tabs and it's not animating. We're never in an animating state. Sweet. So I do want to enter an animating state when I change page. So basically I'm going to do the same thing that I did here. Set active page index. It's going to become an underscore. Set active page index. And this is going to set should animate to true. And this is a set state action of not integer, number. And set, what is it? Active page index. Sweet. And so it's a bit shady using these like underscore internal things and replacing the more nicer API with a hidden stuff. It's kind of shady, but it does just mean that the existing code works for free. And JavaScript is all about doing shady stuff. So in theory, set a nice color. Oh, that's a lovely shade of green. Beautiful. So when I type, it's not animating. When I paste, it's not animating. Switch page. It probably was animating there, but it's animating the same stuff, so it doesn't change anything. Delete all this. It's not animating. But then I switch tab, and it does start animating. And I delete some stuff. Yep, it's still doing its job. But as soon as I switch tab, it starts animating. Awesome. Question is though, when it's animating and I change the content, in theory it should immediately just like kill any animation. I think. So let's see. Goes back there. Goes in there. And if I start typing, kills the animation. This is my new content. I think that works real nice. Oh. Yeah. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. That's the sound that I have decided to start playing whenever I fix a bug. Get used to it. Because I'm going to be making a lot of bugs. So don't animate content when pasting in. That's done. So there is this other bug about the cursor jumping to the end after we make a selection and start typing, but I noted that it also kind of happens randomly. My hope is that that bug will be fixed by this same change. Yeah. So yeah, I think the reason that it was happening before is basically like, say if I had this string, say I had this string and I would like select the middle portion of it and start typing. It's working perfectly now, but say if I go to the production one, so like if I copy this and start typing, see it snaps me to the end of the paragraph, which is really annoying because you're like, oh, that attribute shouldn't be called progress, it should be called dogress. But as soon as I make a change, it snaps me to the end of the paragraph, which is fucked. And the reason it was doing that was as soon as it recognized a change, it started animating the change. And so it was like treating it like a new string. And so it couldn't find the cursor position that was supposed to be there. So it just, I don't know, jumped me to the end. And it seems that that's no longer a problem, right? If I copy, yeah, screw it. I'll copy this whole thing in here. Prog, and I change it to dog. Prog. Yep. Doesn't seem to be doing it anymore because it's bypassing any of the animation as soon as I start typing. And now, how does it look when I switch back? Because there's going to be a bunch of changes here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they're just completely different strings. Cool. I feel like this is in a much better state than when we started today. Pretty chuffed with it. I'm going to cross off this bug. Screw it. Maybe it's at the point where if I'm going to be playing that a lot, maybe I should even get the full little animation of Rayman, like doing the little thing, because I've got a setup for having like GIFs, like little video clips play.
Oh my god, what's happening now?
We work hard. We play hard.
Which I plan on doing if I ever start playing games at the end of stream. But then I've got just a bunch of random sound effects that I feel like would be better suited as like videos that play. We'll see. It'll just be a bit of effort. But yeah. Now it's probably a decent time, since I'm at sort of a natural stopping point, decent time to ask if there's anyone watching. Very happy to have you. Thrilled to have you here. We're currently at 19 out of 20 followers on our follower goal. Let's see if I stick that on the screen. Oh my god, I'm doing a bad job here. Where is my overlays and my follower goal? The hair. There you go. As you can see, is that on 19? Yeah, it is. Sorry, I had to look in real close. So if there's anyone watching who is not currently following, like, you single-handedly could get me to my goal, and it's free. So, you know, you're kind of a bad person if you don't. I'll wait. Okay, well, I had to try. I guess no one new is watching. So, it's only my friends. Don't need no strangers watching the stream at all. So, what else was there to fix on the playback component is the question. Yeah, but there's probably some other stuff to do, but I think I need to improve the color picker. So one thing I can do is have the color picker be driven by local storage, which I've added a hook for to make it really convenient to do that. So with all these things, I think if you return to using it, it should have the stuff that was there before. And yeah, you can see I've got like get persisted page data, get persistive active page data, and these currently do nothing because they just return the default values. So I want to have these be persisted. And so a way to do that is I have a use local storage hook in my LocalBoast library. And let's just see if that works. So the way it's written is it's basically supposed to be like a replacement for use state. It's very similar to how I think Mantine does this the same way, where you use it as if it's local state. It treats it local state, it updates it, like internally uses use state, but at the same time, it's syncing that stuff to local storage, and it's retrieving the initial value from local storage. So local storage is being imported from the correct place, nearly. Gonna refine that import to be a bit more optimized. Oh no, it's importing it from Mantine. I do not want that. Fucking traitor. Books. Use local storage. Okay, and let's see what is the API for use local storage again. So we give it a key, and we give it potentially, if we want, some options. Those options are just custom ways of stringifying and parsing, which I will need in this case. Because local storage is annoying, it exclusively uses strings. So when you write something to local storage, it just calls stringify on it. And when you read it from local storage, it's a string. So if you need to persist an array of data or some complex object, you need to have some way of serializing it. So that's an annoyance with use local storage. So actually, use local storage should really have a way of providing a default value, which it doesn't currently. And that would be a way to get around the problem. Yeah. Yeah, it would. See, the problem I was having was with local storage. So if you're using state and you say that this state value is of type string, screw it, is of type number, and you give it a number, React knows definitely this value will always have a number in it. But with local storage, if you say this value is always definitely a number, but you have to retrieve it from local storage and write it to local storage, if it hits an issue writing to local storage, or that value doesn't exist in local storage, then it's not a number, it's null, or it's empty, whatever. So I had to make it so that the value returned through like the typing of it was or undefined, I think. And it didn't occur to me that I think I could fix that just by enforcing that when you call use local storage that you give it a default value. And I think that would probably fix it, because then I don't need the type returned to be nullable. So let's quickly see if I can do that. So value and set value, and then the value returned is of that type. So the only thing is that I need this to use a fallback of like get initial value, whatever. So parse value can return null. Yeah, so what am I doing? Const persisted value. That was a typo. Here we go. Here we go. Gonna break 100. I'm gonna break 100%. Not gonna get a single thing wrong here. I'm gonna get the first word wrong, haven't I? I've hyped it up too much. Off, own, how, see, call, before, old, home, life, with, play, change, after, or, at, no, most, public, no! I was getting cocky. 89. Even raw, it wasn't over 100. Well, it's a shame that I didn't break it, given that that's my last typo of the day. Not going to make another goddamn typo. Yeah, this graph is, I was going to say all over the place. It's also quite consistent at this scale. I wouldn't mind seeing like a zoomed in version of this scale that, you know, starts at 60. What is the gray? What does the gray mean here? Oh, raw. Oh, so my raw input is like started pretty good. Then I just got so good, so really good, and then massively dipped. Got a bit better. And yeah, so my actual words per minute are staying pretty stable. That's interesting. Right. So in here, I'm getting the persisted value through this, but persisted value might be null. So if that's the case, we're going to use the default value. Default value is either going to be t or a function. That was a typo. At this point, I should just build monkey type into my website so that I have to stop switching tab back and forth. Okay, here we go. Gonna break 100. And if anyone's watching who hasn't followed and I break 100, you legally have to follow and get me to my follower goal of 20. It's such a low goal. Come on, guys. Do this for me. It's my birthday. It's not, but it's legally required for me to say that it's my birthday. Here we go. The old fairy present problem face consider make and leave one much grid how much stand program view order system goes lead it both high. No. It was so close to being perfect. I haven't had a perfect one yet. Oh shit, I've just realized this graph is not my previous records. This graph is a single run. I am dumb. Yeah, so it's a good thing that I'm keeping track of all my previous ones. Because, yeah, I really thought monkey type saved that. I thought that's what this graph meant. Okay, 103. Still not my record for today, but oh, it would have been so good. My raw input was 108. If I hadn't made them typos, maybe that would have been my full-on words per minute. But anyway, back to the programming or whatever. Bullshit. So, it needs to be parameterized. So, default value is going to be either value or a function that returns the value. What happens if you... Can you write a function to state? Because if you call set state and pass it in a function, what does it do? Like if you pass it in a function, it'll treat that function as being setter function. That's just a bit of a tangent. Seriously, what happens? Store function in React state. It's possible to set a function state using hooks, but because state can be initialized and updated with a function returns in it, you need to supply a function that in turn returns the function you want to put in state. Okay. So there is no fancy way that React checks the typings of the function. Just if it gets a function, it calls the function. So you can set a function into state, but you need to do it through a setter function. That's interesting. Basically, I was just checking to see, like, at this point, if the default value is a function, are we safe just always calling it? So if, so return, that was a typo. God, ret run. I'm not thinking. I need to be all up in my head. That's what people always say. I need to be more considered. I need to be more considered. That's what people say. People are crazy. Here we go. There we go. Oh. Yes, this is what happens when I build it up. Alt enter. Okay, I'm gonna redo it. That one didn't count. That didn't count. Some early again. One late. We house. Some leave because part if late. No show high. These open must should who people on time. Line some more increase. 108. That's like the most fucking autistic self high five ever. That is a today record. I was gonna say personal record, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten like in the teens. 108. Okay. Accuracy 94. We've done better than that, but yeah. Still feeling good. Still feeling good. Okay. It's a good way to finish it out because, as I always say, that's going to be the last typo of the day. Turn. Persisted value equals null. And use. I hate nested. I hate typos. That's what I hate. Let's just fly through this. Well, public school. Oh, I hated that. I hated typing that. Yeah, it's not horrible, but just something about whatever it was, like public school or something. Just my fingers did not want to make the shapes. Didn't show it anyway. There's my keyboard. That's all you guys really want to see. Some nice keyboard porn. Good. I'm gonna be doing so many these typing tests. I'm just gonna leave the keyboard there. You don't care that some of my VS Code is cut off by it. Type of default value is function. So yeah, I hate nested ternaries. I'm gonna write it for now and maybe refactor it after. We'll see. Fucking fat fingers, fat finger Connor. That's what they call me. The word school, I can't do it. $94, that one felt way faster than the last one. Oh. Well, it's the last one of the day, so it doesn't really matter. Default value, otherwise default value, otherwise persisted value. Why does it not like this? Expression is not callable. But I've just so it has function. Can I do that? That's not a type. Yeah. It has function. Don't use function. There. Be good. Like that's a hideous line. Yeah, I was considering, do I need to make the default value nullable? But I suppose whoever's calling it, the t value itself can be nullable. In the same way that like when you're invoking use state, you can give it a typing of value or null. So I think we're good there. Oh, still causing other problems. So new parsed value. Yeah, so I'm going to make a little helper function to get the default value. I think I need that because I'm going to need that a few times. Const get default value t. And that's just going to do this. Get default value, default value. So here we're parsing the value from the key changing. So yeah, if the key changes, I was going to say, or the default value changes, but I think the default value should be, you should be able to pass in like a new array every time and it won't constantly update the internal state. So yeah, I'm going to say let new parse value, and if new parse value is equal to null, new parsed value. That wasn't a typo. I was thinking of adding brackets. It doesn't count. Equals get. That was a typo. That was a full-on typo. Just fat fingered that. So add against one head should any. Oh my god. How did a 7 get in there? $85. Oh my god. Like, I know that wasn't the most consistent one I've had, but really felt like I was on par with usual. So I think I must have just like slowed the fuck down. Okay. So get default value. So I need to reference this through a ref because I don't want this use effect to run when the default value updates. Default value ref dot current. Const default value ref equals use updating ref default value. Cool. And in here, because I'm using it, default. Oh, that was a typo. How are we all doing? If anyone's watching, I probably shouldn't have started talking while I'm doing this, but I kind of have given up on doing well at these typing tests. Maybe it's better if I'm able to type while talking about other stuff. It's kind of a cool skill. Like 68 words per minute while I'm talking about other stuff is kind of impressive. But I'm also giving myself like the dip so that I can boost back up and amaze us all. Okay, so we're getting the default value there, and it's recognizing that it's not null at this point. So it's always going to be t. Sweet. And here, we're calling set value remove. When is remove ever done? Goddamn. Is this all for naught? So the problem here is I want the API to be able to remove the local storage value. So that's why the remove one is provided. And when you call remove, you need to set the value to something. I could set it to the default value, but as soon as I do that, local storage is going to update to have the default value. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Unless I could add an exception so that the local storage doesn't get updated if the value is the default value. That makes sense? Because if the current value is the default value, then there's no point even having it in local storage. Right? But how do I do the type comparison? I guess it's being stringified anyway, so I can stringify it and then compare them. Screw it, I'm going to do that. This is going to feel bad, but get default value ref.current. So now when you click remove, we're setting the value to the default value. And when the value changes, so here we're checking if it's equal to null. So this, I'll replace this. I'll go there. So I'll say if string value is equal to default string value. That was a typo. Okay, I'm going to pay actual attention this time. And I'm going to turn the music up because this is real quiet. I'm deciding which finger to have on D. I don't know like proper typing techniques. You know, I don't know like home row stuff. Hey, what kind of library are you building? Sorry, just saw that chat come in. I'm working on a React library full of user experience things, common things. Like I'm not much of a UI builder, but I like building UXs. So the LocalBoast is a React library. It can be found at localboast.com. So some of the things that I built are things like a hook that allows for strings to be truncated like nicer. Like you can see it's truncating in the middle of the string. Or I've got a hook for animating the text of a string that is passed into the hook, that kind of stuff. And then just a bunch of little hooks to do things like handle animations nicer. All with the view to like making some really interesting things in the web based off of like off-the-shelf hooks. So like one of the things that I built is like an Etch-a-Sketch component that uses my Twitch chat to drive what's drawn on the page. And this is all fueled by a single hook that I've got in the library called, where is it? Called use Twitch chat. And so like, yeah, the whole point of the library is to like have really cool functionality, like running a Twitch chatbot in the end user's browser, all by invoking just like one line of text or one line of code. So yeah, is it like copy and use and modify code, or is everything stored in node modules? Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a proper published React library. I haven't published it in a while, but so it's like if you're running a React app, you can just install it from npm at npm install localboast. So what is it? npm localboast. So like, yeah, it's fully usable by other apps, but it's also got the, I think, MIT license on GitHub. So on GitHub, Connor Kelleher, LocalBoast. So yeah, on the code base for it is open source, and it's got the MIT license, which my understanding of it is you can just have at. It's yours, learn from it, take it, fork it, do with it as you please. So yeah, it's like intended to be entirely open source and just like sharing my understanding and building cool stuff that people might want to use or do with as they please. Mainly I'm having fun with it. Yeah, cool stuff. We'll check it out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, I haven't actually published it in a while because it's currently on like version 0.1. So I haven't like officially had its initial first deployment where like I really stand by everything, because I'm still at the point of like rapidly changing a lot of APIs. But yeah, if you care to have a look at some of the code for it, this is really zoomed in. That's why it looks weird. Actually, I don't know why there's multiple lines. I don't know why this table of contents is so broken out. But yeah, feel free to have a look, PR some stuff if you want. We have a Discord also if you want to ask what I've done on some of the stuff. How do I get that? Discord. There you go. Yeah, so if you have any interest in joining a dialogue there, or even starting a dialogue, because there isn't much chat in that Discord, yeah, feel free. So what I'm working on now, I've already completely forgotten. Yeah, so I was messing around with an app that I built on the website called Playback. I think it's, or Replay. It's called multiple things. Why is that not working? Playback. Yeah, so this is a little code editor that allows for paged changes of code, and you can like click between them to see the different states, and it's got syntax highlighting as well. And so it's a thing that I built for myself for the sake of making YouTube videos that demo code changes, and it's really, hopefully really useful. I've gotten a bit of use out of it already, but it's quite buggy. And so what I'm doing now is making it better. And one thing that I need for that is to update a hook that I have in the library called use local storage that allows stuff to be persisted. Like instead of just local state, it's all local state that is driven by local storage and automatically gets synced with local storage. So that's what I'm working on right now, is a use local storage hook. Thank you for the tangent. They help me get through the day. And this music's really quiet. Or is there just no music? Might just be no music. Cool. So what I want to be doing here now, I'm seeing if the value has been set to the default value, then what do we do? Then we remove it from local storage. So that's our way of removing the local storage value while still having the state not be nullable. And hopefully it works and isn't too inefficient. So we need a value for a default string value. So I'm going to say const default string value is equal to stringify value. Do I actually need to give it this? I'm still like, I've been using TypeScript for like a year or two, but I'm still not the most familiar with it. But yeah, so I don't actually need to explicitly give it type T because I'm giving it an argument that it's recognizing is T. Sweet. So get, type it in there. Get default value. I'm not getting these as typos because it's not like my fingers mistyped. It's just like, I was wrong about what I wanted to type. Doesn't count. Default value ref dot current. I need to have that down here. Cool. So if the new string value is equal to the default string value, then we just remove it from local storage. So I think that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. And so what is this use effect?
New follower, Mad Bag Codes.
Goddamn. Thank you, Mad Bad Codes. Don't think I've seen you in chat, but yeah, really happy to have you. Oh. TS is a blessing and a curse for me too, haha. Some any types somehow appears in my code. Yeah. Oh,
New follower, Bibus Bulkoi.
2 followers so quickly. Goddamn. And that has gotten me to my follower goal for the day. So now I can hide that from the UI and stop taking up so much of my screen. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, TypeScript is, I think I couldn't not use it now. Like my first job was at a company that did not use TypeScript, and we would talk about it like it was the devil. Like, oh, I can't believe anyone would bother using that. It's so restrictive. There's the follower goal. Get rid of that. And then the next job I got, they used TypeScript, and I was like, oh god, this is such a learning curve. I had to learn TypeScript for the interview. It was horrible. I couldn't go back. Anytime for this project, the odd time I've like got some code from like some starter code, say for like a Twitch chatbot. Twitch gives like all the sample code for that, but it's in plain JavaScript. So the very first thing I had to do was switch it over to TypeScript, add in typings and stuff, because I'd be lost without the TS compiler. Genuinely, I don't know how, like looking back on it, like so many bugs that I catch now are because TypeScript is like, So like, I think you have to put a lot more of your mind into what bugs can come out of this stuff if you're not using TypeScript, because you have to think about every possible input that can possibly go to this function and whatnot. Whereas here, it's just telling me where the bugs are, so I can just go and fix them. So what is this effect? It's when local storage updates outside of our doing. Sync our state. Yes. Okay. So when local storage updates, we set our value to be the parsed version of it. That makes sense. So I think in this case, if parsed value comes back null, yeah, I think it's probably fine to clear it. So yeah, basically we're syncing it both ways, that if we update our local state, it persists to local storage, and also if local storage updates, we read it into state here. And so this is saying that we want to make this local state not nullable, and if the value that's been written to local storage can't be parsed, what do we write to our local state? So I think in this case we can just use the default value, because the only way that it might not be parsed is if it's set to null, in which case it's fine using the default value because we've already got that set up. Or if local storage is written to in a way that can't be parsed, like some object is thrown at it externally that can't be parsed by the way we're trying to handle it, then it's fine that we clear our state because we will be using stale data anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead with that. Const parsed value. What'll I do? Is that const new value is parsed value equals null? If so, get default value ref dot current. That was a typo. God damn it. So yeah, if any of the recent watchers, yeah, this is also a challenge run. Anytime I make any typo whatsoever, I need to do a typing test. And I have actually, how many have I done here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Streaming for 3.5 hours and I've made 18 typos, which is infinitely fewer than I thought I would have by this point. But yeah, let's see. Can I break my record? Probably not. Oh, I didn't even write down, did I? No, I did. Holy shit, I thought that the most recent run I did was my 108 record. Didn't realize that I've done 4 since. So let's break that record and get just a better song than this. Some intense. Come on. Nope, fucked up. Already fucked up. Yeah, and that's why I'm so inconsistent on my numbers. Because as soon as I mess up once, I just keep messing up, and I messed up right at the start there. Yeah, I don't deserve this song. Give me sadness. This is what I deserve. Okay, so if parse value is null, then we get the default value, which can't be null, or we use the parse value. So why is new value that? Undefined is not assigned. Oh, parse value is not nullable, it's possibly undefined. So saying this is of type unknown. Do I have to explicitly tell this that it's of type T? I thought that was the exact lesson that I learned wasn't the case. Yeah, it seems like it. So parse value can be null. Yep. Now that sad music's just getting distracting. Okay, so I think this might be pretty much here. So what do I need this? Default value ref, stick that in here because the linter doesn't know that this is type safe. So yeah, that should all be good. So now the value returned from use local storage is not nullable because it's either using a valid value from local state or local storage, or it's using the default value we provide. Now what that means is that anywhere that I have used local storage, I now need to fix it, and I just typoed while searching for a file. Ah! Well, my raw input is real fast. Accuracy is dog shit, but yeah. Bear with me. Right, so I'm probably going to be finishing up the stream in about 12 minutes at like the turn of the hour. So let's try to make some good progress here. Rework the local storage. Because yeah, all of these are now broken basically. Because I have not provided a default value. So use Twitch chatbot. And my dog's going insane. So yeah, I'll definitely have to take her out in about 10 minutes. So yeah, you can see we're getting bugs here because we're not providing a default value. It's not that we're getting bugs, it's that it's just not going to work. So in this case, ls auth token. I think this, I'm just going to say that this is nullable. It can be string or null. String or null. That was a typo. Oh my god, I'm never going to get through this with all these 15-second typing tests. No, I refuse to get a single thing wrong. I hate that it still keeps track of errors, even if you go back and fix them. It's a real lesson for life, that all errors are unfixable. Nothing is forgivable, ever. That's the lesson I've taken away from this, which is real dark. We can see how failing a test really affects me. Okay, so this is string or null, and the default value is just going to be null. Cool. We can just do that. That's nice. If I give it the default value of null, what does it think this stuff is? Yeah, it thinks it's of type null, which is interesting. So I have to say it's of type string or null. That might be broken, just the way that, because I'm not giving it thingy. I'm not giving it a stringifier, so giving it a null, it might break at the point of trying to stringify it. But TypeScript isn't complaining, so I'm not complaining. So the rest of it is in the website code. So now I need to build the library code so the website can use those latest changes. So here, use local storage. This is just going to have the default value of just an empty string. And this one, it's of type this. So the default value is going to be, because I think I put some shitty workaround here for it. Yeah, line coordinates. This is my awkward workaround for this value being nullable, was that having a use memo call that did some stuff to return the default coordinates. Yeah. So now that can be my default value, and we're happy. And rename that to line coordinates, and now I can just get rid of this whole thing. And now, are we happy? Set state action. Why is this wrong? Why is the music stopped? Oh yeah, VS Code also just sometimes mistakes. Like if I rebuild my library, it like forgets that this thing is part of it, and I need to just re-import it annoyingly. So join step here. Okay, yeah, so I had updated this typing to be nullable, and now it doesn't need to be. And channel is not nullable. Sweet. So hopefully that all works. And then here where I'm using local storage, the CSRF token, I'm also going to make this a string or null. Or null. That was a typo. Oh, come on. We gotta be quick here. Oh, no. Not that quick. The Skyrim music is making me too serene. Yeah, that's no good. That's real no good. My last one of the day is going to be in a few minutes. My actual last typo of the day. Believe it or not. It's going to be in a few minutes. Because I'm going to be finishing soon. Because my girlfriend is sad. About something. Possibly because I'm in here ignoring her. So what's the problem here? Yeah, I need to give it the default value of null. And same with this one. This can just be null. String or null. And the default value is going to be null. Okay. Okay. Playback. Page data. Did I just do this? Oh yeah, I just added these lines in. And this is where I realized that I need to be able to add default values. Okay, so this is written in a way that is just kind of broken. So here I got some constants set aside for keys for my local storage, so let's add a few more in. Clear const. I don't know why I'm typing out this entire line. It's like I'm forcing myself to get good at typing or something. That's a typo. Oh my god. What? Oh, caps lock is on. Okay, I'm restarting. Restarting. Caps lock was on. That doesn't count. Even though I typoed the fact that caps lock was on. You can't get mad at me. Please don't get mad at me. Still okay. Best I've gotten today by far. And I'm so close to being perfect. Oh my god. I was getting cocky. But I feel like I deserve to be cocky there. That might be my actual like record. On or off stream. I feel like I deserve celebratory music. Now let's just get this little bit of code working, please. God, that's a typo. Why did I force myself to type out the entire line? Oh my god. It's gone. I've lost it. Screw it. Even 86, even though I gave up towards the end. That's surprisingly high. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have given up. Oh boy. Now we're getting to the point that it's like as frequent typos as I expected it to be from the start. So what is this key we're doing? Playback page index. That's a typo. I'm really tempted to just give up on this challenge because I need to finish soon. That was a typo, but that doesn't count. Typoing in the typing test doesn't count, right? Otherwise, this is just an infinite loop. Yeah, 78. Not great. Okay, last typo of the day. Playback page. So what I'm doing here is just making some constants that I can import from other places for consistently referencing local storage keys. Playback, so we want the page index, the contents, and the background color. Need that to be capitals. Oh boy, that was a typo. That was a typo. It wasn't a typo that I was upcase, but then I just full on typoed. I should stop talking while I'm doing these. It's kind of distracting for me to be saying other words while I'm typing some words and also with loud music in my ears. This should be like a psychological experiment what I'm doing right now. 66. I feel like that's surprisingly impressive, given how unideal those conditions were. Okay, turn the music back down. So, playback background. There's my constants. Need to reference them now. Import them up here. You go away. You go away. Those weren't typos. Play back. Come on. Oh shit, were they? They're in the library code. Okay, so I have to rebuild that. Do you know what? I'm thinking there might be too much left to do here before I need to run off. So I might do the rest off stream and finish up with one final monkey type with the most thematic song. I'm just going to click a random song. No. Countdown to disaster. Here we go. This is gonna break all sorts of records, and I'm gonna be quiet, and you're gonna be quiet too. And if I get over 100, everyone watching has to follow. That's the law. And if I get under 100, everyone who's already following has to unfollow. But please don't, because I need followers. Oh my god. Yes, 107. Everyone has to follow. Everyone. Connor wins everything. 107. You guys can see that, right? I'll underline it. Just really celebrating pointless achievements. Okay, yeah. That's done. It was a fun stream. Got a lot of followers, a lot of new people in chat. Really appreciate it. Oh, mad bag codes. Thank you for engaging in what seemed like really pathetic celebration. But yeah, thanks all for watching. Yeah, I need to run off and be a human and a parent to a needy dog and a partner to another person. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna stick my links into the chat. So there's my Discord if you want that. There's my link tree where you can find the GitHub repo, my website, ways you can tip me if you want. I would suggest doing that maybe next time I'm live, because that way it'll show up on stream. But yeah, thanks so much everyone for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Goodbye. See you next time.